Alaska, Guam, the entire west coast of the U.S., including California, Oregon, Washington State. Tsunami warning sirens have been sounding in Hawaii, telling residents evacuate now to higher ground. Here with more, Fox Weather Zone, Steve Bender is with us. This now has been upgraded to 8.8. That would make it in the top 10 most powerful earthquakes ever in history that's been recorded, correct?
Correct. It would be number 6 now, Sean, when we look at this. And this continues to change. When it first came out, local time, just after 2 a.m. At Kamchatka, Alaska, 8 miles off the coast, it was 8.0. Then it jumped to 8.7. 8.8 is where we stay now. And last time we talked, Sean, that seemed like a minute detail, a small change. It means it has 1.5 times more energy that's being dispersed out thousands of miles along the Pacific, triggering all those tsunami alerts that we have.
I thought you would have been
from an 8.7 to an 8.8 is actually a big difference. So we'll show you how massive this energy is sprawling out from the epicenter, 8 miles removed from the eastern coast of Russia. Tsunami warning for the Aleutian Islands, tsunami warning for Hawaii, and a watch in place for the West Coast. You mentioned Hawaii, right? And we've been getting the updates from Oahu, the emergency management. They have sirens going on right now. I think we have a live visual from Hawaii because, Sean, when you and I were talking, you think about what we're in right now. It's the summertime. Families are going to Hawaii. You're trying to make a dream out of this opportunity, and now you're hearing these sirens erupt. We saw people that were just relaxing at the beach, and big concerns about after 7:15 local time this evening is when the tsunami is expected to make impacts. This is something to take seriously in Oahu. The emergency management says you need to get to higher ground. If you're in a building and needs to be at least 10 stories, get to the 4th story or above. Well, that's not tall enough. Find a bigger building. We start looking at the Aleutian Islands. This is
hold the fuck up. Yeah, if you're above 4 stories and you need more building, go find another building. Bro, the tsunami hit. I'm going to find more building, bro. That's insane.
Where we look at the Aleutian megathrust, it's these tectonic plates. It's the most active spot in the entire world is in the North Pacific. I was talking with an Alaskan seismologist, Dr. Michael West, just earlier this month because of a big quake we had then. That was a 6 point something. Now we're at an 8.8.
People were
looking at Hawaii. We are also getting some updates that out of Hilo, the airport is now closed because they're using this as the spot where they're going to be getting out emergency personnel to coordinate with any of the impacts that are going to happen. So they are shutting down the airports. They're getting the sirens, and they're telling everybody, you need to get to higher ground. The visuals that we have seen on social media so far, and we're working to confirm for everybody to bring to you, is out of Kamchatka, Russia, 8 miles removed. They've already seen the wave push in and flooding along the coast. In Japan, we've also seen this. So this is a confirmed tsunami that is heading towards these directions. We have also had people that are in Maui, in Hawaii, that said there's massive traffic jams because everybody's trying to get to higher ground. If you look at the visuals there, you can see there is steep terrain. But a lot of the tourist areas, a lot of where people want to be are down on the water. They're in the marina as we scan it through there. And right now, it looks beautiful. But when you talk about that wave energy, it can move quickly, and it's rising fast. So as we zoom in, you'll still see at the beach there's some people relaxing. And honestly, if they're not getting these alerts, they're on vacation mode.
It came out already?
Why would they leave? Until you start hearing those sirens. That's why it's so important to make sure people are getting their action plan. It does
We're actually going to get another fucking siren here pretty soon.
Starting to leave. So you think about how far Hawaii is from the epicenter of this, thousands of miles, and it's not losing any of its energy. Go even further, and now you're along the lower 48, the West Coast, Pacific Northwest. When is the time frame from Gold Beach, Oregon, Astoria up towards Port Angeles, Angeles? You're looking at right before midnight. So 11:40 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, a wave has been generated.
To Northern
it's going to hit
California,
something.
Eureka, down towards the Bay Area.
It's going to hit us, but we don't know how nuts it's going to be.
And then down into Malibu, San Diego, Los Angeles, looking at...
The most recent thing I heard is the fucking, it's 10 feet tall, the wave. How many waves? There's no way of knowing that. No way of knowing how much waves because it kind of hits and then it comes back and it hits and it comes back. Yeah, they're saying it's 10 feet tall. But, you know what I mean? They could be wrong. 10 feet tall. No, not no 10 stories. Only 10 feet. You're fucking insane for saying that. What was the word? No work tomorrow? Shit, I don't even know, dog.
at just after 1 a.m., Sean.
All right, Steve Bender, that is a relatively short period of time
Oh, that
for
sucks. I
all
hate
of
to
these
hear that.
people to get to higher ground. Please listen to these warnings. Please tell your friends. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to...
Shut up, Sean Hannity. Well, I'm in the United States. I don't get all that shit. You crazy. Right.
According to some of the forecast readings, maybe 1 to 2 meters, which is quite significant. More than 3 feet a possibility. Unpredictable, strong currents. That's why you need to stay out of the water. We've been seeing very rough shorelines when we have tsunamis, and we've seen that in history.
Wow,
So something that we'll be
wow.
watching very carefully are all of these elements coming together. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jen. Of course, we do have crews.
He was only
stationed
13.
throughout the island, including our
Bro,
Japan
Roblox, let me tell you some crazy shit, dog. Every single time there's been a tsunami warning, no one takes it serious, and they're out there just freaking doing their thing on the ocean. And this is the one that's gonna hit. For sure, this is gonna hit. You watch.
Reports of a lot of traffic jams across town.
This is a statewide response right now. So what we've been showing throughout the afternoon is traffic jams.
You watch, they're gonna cut over to all the
throughout
bays
different
when it
parts,
comes time,
throughout
like when it
different
comes
counties,
closer.
Across Oahu, many employees leaving their places of business. Governor Josh Green instructed
They're gonna
state
cut to the
employees,
bays, and you're gonna see
to
freaking
leave after
the waters
warning
go out and shit
came
like that. It's
down
kinda
just
crazy.
before 3 p.m.
There's traffic,
Hawaiian time,
bro.
and this is what we're talking about here. Many hitting the roads. This
Drop
is from
the
earlier
ball.
this afternoon, just giving you a picture and giving you a sense right now. As residents respond
gonna record
to
this
this
tsunami,
warning, which
bro.
is unfolding in real time. First anticipated wave is at 7:10.
Not for me.
This
Not for me.
evening. There will be a warning siren.
I was going the opposite direction.
Off any moment now. We were
This
told
house, this
that it
guy,
will
nope,
be
not
happening
yet.
at
Waiting for that one, though.
5:10. So if that audio does
Hawaii, yeah?
kick in, forgive us here if you're hearing it over the air, or it
Yeah,
could
he's
be
on Kauai,
popping
yeah.
up on
Yeah.
our phones as well. But the expectation is that another siren will be going off at 5:10, after which we'll be hearing from Honolulu Mayor Rick
No siren
Blangiardi
yet.
and
No
city
siren yet.
officials here in Honolulu about the response.
Yeah, so of course,
Nope, no sirens.
we are seeing these images right now of the roads that are just jammed.
Okay, we're working out to get Stephanie's
Right, the cameraman never
microphone
dies, right?
sorted out right now as
There you
we're
go.
mapping out
There you
this
go.
response statewide. Traffic jams.
If you
and
can hear
traffic
sirens, you
backups,
Mahu, this guy's an idiot.
happening throughout Oahu right now. We are seeing Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi
Look at this shit, dog.
getting ready for a podium and another monitor we are monitoring in the newsroom here as we give you a look
Come
at
on,
the backup
Willie.
on Windward
Jeez.
Oahu. We also saw a similar site
be a
on
cameraman.
the leeward coast.
Yeah,
Kole
there you
Kole
go.
Pass is opened up for emergency access at this point.
Bro, this is fucked up
Let's
'cause it's
also
right
give
by
you
the water.
video from
They got traffic right by
Hilo
the water.
right now.
And they've
Hawaii
got
County
literally
residents
2 hours left.
leaving the area, and you could be hearing the sirens over air right now as the second emergency siren
Where's this Hilo? Yeah.
warning
Oh,
of the
there it is.
tsunami warning
There it is.
is going off right now.
The message that we've been hearing from emergency officials is to prepare to have a plan in place. Do
On the other
not
name. What's up,
panic
country girl?
at this time as we take a look at the situation here in
I don't think the
Kakaako.
cops
Don't
gonna
wait
care if
until
you.
the
Nah,
last
fuck
minute
no.
to leave. But if you and your family
Look at
do
this
have
shit,
a
dude.
plan, meet at a meeting
Traffic
place,
piles up in
make
Kakaako.
sure that
That's
you
fucking
have the
crazy.
necessary materials, your medication. Make sure you unplug those sensitive electronics.
No, it's like
Also,
gridlock,
live
dude.
on a boat,
This is
or
the
if you
problem.
have a boat, make sure to tie
There's the
up
sirens.
that boat
Yup.
properly and take it out to sea.
Nah, I'm gonna be
we
safe, dog.
again are hearing
be
these
safe.
sirens sounding
Oh, there it
off
is.
on cell phones across the state. Of course, Hawaii under
Bruh,
a
just seek higher
tsunami
ground at this
warning
point. You're 2 hours
after
away.
a
Fuck going
powerful
home.
Magnitude 8.7 earthquake off the East Coast.
I know, right?
XEAXUR, Russia.
Let's go to Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi at the city's emergency operations.
Oh, this is a fat L for the fucking state of Hawaii, dog.
Well, good evening. Well, if you're watching us right now, you're fully aware that the state is under a tsunami alert. That said, what you're doing is the right thing to do. We ask you to
What, be
pay
stuck
attention
in
to
traffic, you
media
idiot?
Updates. Here in Oahu tonight, I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who are going to give you some really pertinent
Let's go, Cap.
information. But I ask that you stay calm. If you're in a low-lying area, please get to high ground. You'll hear about our emergency centers that are open, and let Randy Collins, our emergency management services director, tell you that. But we need people to cooperate with
So,
each other.
I guess, I don't know.
Move.
The tsunami targeting small island.
And get to high ground, if at all possible, where you are. We
Yeah.
promise to give you complete updates.
Let's go to
Right now, the expected time of anything that might happen here in Oahu is
Oh,
gonna be
yeah,
somewhere
guaranteed.
around 7:15. We're expecting it to be at Kauai around 7:10. We'll know. We've been told by Civil Defense that when it passes the island of Midway, we'll get a good read as to what we can expect, and that's not scheduled to happen for a while yet. But we promise to keep you updated. Please.
Yeah, it's
stay
gonna hit
close to
Midway
the media.
first.
Listen, if you are in a safe place, stay there, and if you're not,
Yep,
do
California is
something
under
about
tsunami as well.
get to higher ground. So with that, I want to bring up Randy Collins, who's our emergency manager of services.
But California's one is gonna hit like 2 a.m. or something like that. It's gonna hit us first.
Good evening. As the mayor indicated, our #1 priority is
Nah,
to get
I voted
people
for him,
to safety.
but I don't really like him.
So
I don't really
get
care for him.
out
I thought
of
I'd try him out.
tsunami zones, out of the tsunami inundation areas.
Oh, go
those
for it,
clearly
Josh.
Marked by these tsunami zone signs that you've seen around, that we worked hard in instilling over the past year to make sure that you're aware of where those tsunami zones are.
Look at this guy's Aloha shirt. I can't take him
Find out more
seriously.
information at
This is crazy.
www.honolulu.gov/DEM. There you will be able to find all the various types of resources about these tsunami warnings. As the mayor mentioned, our #1 priority is life safety. And so right now, it's an easy thing. Get away from the beaches, get inland, and get upward. So that's our message right now. I would also tell you that we are working hard with all of the city agencies and other stakeholders to make sure that we are activating the tsunami assembly areas around the Oahu. And we want everyone to, if you do live in an area that's within a tsunami area, first and foremost, go to a friend's house, go to a neighbor's house, go to your workplace, but go inward and upward out of the tsunami area. If you have no other place to go, then go to the tsunami assembly areas that we have activated around Oahu. Would also encourage you to not call 911 for evacuation out of your home. Depend on your friends and family and your neighbors to help you get out of the tsunami zones. 911 services are not for helping to evacuate. Our 911 services are for in danger of life and health services. And so we don't want to over or inundate the 911 centers. So please make sure that you use all other resources available to you to evacuate out of the tsunami zone and get to those other refuge areas. And again, as a last resort, go to those.
Heard it. Sorry. I said, so my mom lives on one of the tallest mountains in Oahu. And she said, like, the water does look funny. It's already... Oh, I'm in, and I'm up-ish, you know what I mean? So, like, we'll see. The guy said, like, you need 10 stories, but be higher than 4. We're on 8, so you know what I mean? We're going to see. And if it doesn't work, he wants me to find more building. Yeah, that's clear. He said it, not me. They just went to the... Oh, yeah, for sure. About a week ago, Costco had obscene amounts of pallets of water. Oh, you know why, though, right? Because this is the second earthquake to hit off of Russia. So probably, I don't know, maybe they knew this bitch was going to happen. I don't know. That does make sense, though. Looked a little brown when I just flew in. How does this affect the prices of eggs?
Those tsunami assembly
It shouldn't.
areas.
It shouldn't,
And
yeah.
with that, I'm going to turn it over to...
Interestingly enough, though, Roblox, all the livestock and chickens like that, they're all grown up in the mountains here.
Ocean safety for
Maybe you might be
some
onto something.
information about what's happening on the beaches.
Up by $10. I got the discount, bro. AR 15% off.
Well, good evening again. I guess the tone was running. So I want to open up by saying if you're watching us right now, no doubt you understand that we're under a full tsunami alert here. And so that said, we
I don't know. We're going to find out, dog.
Most seriously. And our appeal to you is to, if you're in a low-lying
Matt,
area,
you're so fucking
get
slow in the
yourself
head,
safe,
bro.
get to higher ground. Okay, we ask people to stay calm, cooperate. We know the roads are full out there. Our anticipation right now, based on the latest information we have, is that we're a couple of hours away from any potential impact to Hawaii. We're going to get, as I understand it, we'll have a better read once it passes.
It's Modelo time, dog.
It should be substantially before then.
So,
and we'll
why am
be
I
able to
scared
pass
of not
that
even
on.
Hawaii?
We've
Well, I
come up
mean,
here
it's
tonight
truly a
with all
scary
the right
thing.
people here to keep you informed. That's what we want.
Like, it was
do.
crazy
We will
because, like,
continue to keep you informed.
it was crazy because I was at work, right? Like, when we were leaving the job site, like, we're right on the water anyway. We're leaving the job site, right? We didn't realize what time it was going to hit or not. Like, we were just trying to evac as quick as possible after, like, 30 fucking bullshit tries. What do you call? Like we're all just joking around, like, blah, 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 this and that, blah, 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 blah. What's good, dog? Steve lives in Hawaii. No, but, what do you call? And then, like, once we got to our cars, everybody's demeanor kind of changed. They were like, okay, well, hope I see you tomorrow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, oh, I got a bad... Because we've been through this before and no wave hits, you know what I mean? But all it takes is that one time, dog. All it takes is that one time.
Everybody has power now. You have
Yeah,
access to
2011.
media outlets. Pay attention, listen. We'll try to help you as
Country
much
Boy
as
is
we
in here.
possibly can.
He's right up
All
there
our
somewhere.
People are out there doing what they can to help people, but the best thing you can do is to help yourself and get you and your family safe. If you can, get to higher ground. Okay? So I'm going to bring up ocean safety right now.
Bro, 10
Buck
feet
Giles from
with the
Ocean
power
Safety.
of all of the ocean, dude.
Not
That's going
much
to be
to
crazy.
say, but just to reiterate.
Oh, what's up, Drip? Stop changing your name!
Higher ground. Our lifeguard towers
Let's
right
get
now
it.
are closed. We have mobile responders currently giving
No,
warnings
yeah,
to
no, but
people
you see,
to get away from the
when 2011 happened, it was overhyped, like major kind overhyped, but it wasn't really. Like, we knew nothing was gonna hit. You know what I mean?
beaches and out of the
This
ocean.
one,
We've
something's
conducted,
different about it.
Ocean rescue
Yeah,
warnings from Diamond Head.
It's the last
to
change. You
Florida
lie.
Basin, as well
You
as
lie.
the other sides of the island. But we really need to stress that get to higher ground, get out of those tsunami zones. Just be smart and
What's
follow,
crazy is, like, they
what the
just
news
put
is
those signs
telling
up,
us.
like,
We
a
will know
year
more
ago.
information
The
as
blue
it
signs?
comes. Again, we are here to help in before and after anything happens. Thank you very much.
So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if there's actually gonna be a crazy wave that comes and, like, fucking fucks a lot of shit up.
Just like everyone
It
else,
does feel different from the last one, yeah.
We want everyone to stay safe.
Another heat wave, bro. It's been hot.
Early so you don't put
We got a
yourself in,
typhoon off the fucking
a
off the
tough
coast too,
situation.
which is even
As far as for
crazier.
Our response, we'll do our best to continue
Flooded power
services,
outages, yeah,
and
dude.
at a certain point, our personnel would
So I don't
also
know what's
have to
gonna
relocate
happen. If we
people
power outage, then you know
to
some
the
shit's
plant
going down. But if not, then
our resources inland and
that's gonna happen around
at a higher
7:30ish.
and we're just gonna monitor all the reports that
New
continue to
beachfront
come in
property.
and try and
Scoop 'em now
maintain
while they're
our
hot, yeah?
response capabilities as long as we can, and not to endanger our staff as well. So I'll hand off.
Another laser. Smart cities galore. You guys are fucking sick.
From the Honolulu Police Department, Major Events Division. Most everybody said it before me. We'll
The
continue
only
working
person that's
fire,
here
any
actually with
other
me is Code
emergency
Steel
management
Collector. You know what I mean? You guys are all
ensure
sick.
public
You guys
safety.
are fucking somewhere else.
Rely on one another and utilize your resources as much as possible. And if you need to utilize 911 for concurring emergencies.
Paint everything blue.
Hi, Roger Morton, Director of Transit.
God, I don't trust this guy.
A little bit about our transit situation.
Oh my God, Matt. That
we're
is not a
planning
joke
to,
you want to make, dog.
Stop operating any trip that was scheduled to start at
That's
6,
right.
after
Josh is
6
here too.
p.m. So up
Josh
until
is in
6
Hawaii.
p.m., we're going to continue to operate trips. Having said that, some of
Right.
those trips may
I don't believe this guy at all,
not
bro.
have finished their trip and still be in a possible inundation zone. And so there may be detours that drivers will take people to higher ground if they're in danger. If you are,
Oh, he knows.
one of
He knows the
somebody takes
size.
bus and you haven't heard from them, then I
Bro,
would
the
urge
sonar
you to try to
perk is
call them
crazy
and
work.
Tell them what's going on with the bus service. We have a lot of people that have language difficulties sometimes, and got to get the word out to your loved ones that after 6 p.m.
Oh, yeah,
we're
for
going
sure.
to suspend any service that starts after that point. For
What?
Skyline, we're going to run Skyline until the 6:35 trip from Halava, and that'll be the last Skyline. Now, having said all of that, we're going to be monitoring the situation
don't.
very closely.
I have an
after
out of
the
review of
event.
Pearl Harbor.
It's possible that we will restore service.
But who knows,
sometime
Pearl
in the
Harbor
evening.
might catch
Thank you.
cracks too.
So I want to say it one
Bro,
more
that
time.
fool was talking and listening at the same time, bro.
You can help yourself the best.
Some might
We're
say
here
he loves to
help
hear
you.
himself
We need
talk,
you
yeah?
To help yourself as well. We would not
We
be
keep-
doing this.
it is.
If this
No,
wasn't
it
real
might be.
serious at this
I don't
point
know.
in time. So please take this very seriously, and don't go down to the beach. Don't be looking at waves. Get yourself as high as you
Right.
possibly can. So with that, if I can answer any questions, we'll be happy to do so. Yes.
Yeah, Hilo is confirmed closed because, fuck, I think that's where they're gonna respond from. If like it is a cataclysm kind of shit, you know.
I would imagine that HPD right now is out there trying to move traffic along to the best of their ability. I know.
Bro, he knows this bitch is huge, then, huh?
And people are in gridlock, and that's all I could ask.
Yeah, because of you guys.
Calm, and we'll try to move things along as best we can.
Bro, imagine being on a fat building and that bitch collapses. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we are.
Damn!
93% of
Here's jump scare again.
now is running late, and most of our assets are not in
They
a
do have
position
buoys.
where we could respond at this
Well,
point.
they said it's 10
We
feet
urge
out
the
there.
families to try to, to take advantage and keep their
Is that his son?
loved ones away if they're in low-lying
Could be correct.
areas.
Never know. Could be correct.
Any other questions?
Holy shit. Underground would be a wild one, too.
Yes.
His brother.
Well, I know that
One's
they're
got
doing a
nose,
lot
the other
down
got
in
sonar
Waikiki.
hearing.
They're in hotels, and each and every property, I think, has got their own plans.
No, I
you
wasn't. I
also
was working in
pay
Pearl
attention,
Harbor when
this
that
is
shit went
real,
off.
and it's most serious. And if
I was like, oh,
they happen
what
to
is
be
this, a new
watching,
ICBM fucking shit? I checked it.
they
I was
don't
like,
have
ha
these
ha,
events
just
very
kidding.
often, but when we do, they are.
And
They're
then I looked at it, I was
really
like,
serious.
oh,
So we just
tsunami
ask you to pay
cannon.
attention, do what you've been asked to do, and we're all going to hope for the best.
Right.
All right, we'll be back. Okay, we'll keep you posted. Anything that
Bro,
we get
8.8
that's
is
definitive,
fucking huge, dog.
It could be of importance in news. We certainly will provide that. All right,
The
thank you.
6th largest ever recorded since we started recording earthquakes, which is, yeah, there's people living on Midway. Hawaii, New
And you just
Nevada.
heard from emergency officials there. And as we take a look now from Kauai
Kapa'a High School,
about the
Kapa'a
Kauai
Middle.
emergency shelters, we're going to list them off for you. These are areas that you can evacuate to: Kapa'a High School, Kapa'a Middle School, LA Elementary School,
Kalaheo.
Koloa Library,
Library.
Kauai Community College,
Everybody's
Kalaheo
in the right path,
Neighborhood
bro.
Center.
You know,
Kilauea Elementary
tsunamis
School.
bounce,
Now,
right,
these
and shit like
refuge
that.
areas will have parking and
Go to those
restroom
schools. That's a whole
facilities
different
available.
island.
And keep in mind, if you are bringing a pet, make sure you bring a kennel.
Well, we're gonna find out
food,
soon.
and
We're
water
gonna find out real
for
soon.
The animal.
And county officials are responding
Midway should be getting
statewide.
hit,
We just
like,
showed you the
anytime
Kauai
soon.
emergency shelters on Hawaii
Because
County.
Putin didn't want a big piece
you
of-
have
oh, wow.
evacuation
Is that
sites
what we're gonna
open
blame it
at,
on?
Pu'u'eo,
Blame Uncle
Community
Putin?
Center, Panaeva Park, Kea'au Armory, Pahoa Neighborhood Facility, Ka'u District Gym,
Paho.
the Na'alehu Community Center, Yano Hall, Kealakehe High School Gym, Waimea Community Center, Hisaoka Gym, and Honoka'a Gym. So a number of sites available for those seeking shelter on Hawaii County, as well as Kauai. And as we just heard, circling back to the news conference with Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi, as well as with
Talking to
city
me?
first responders.
I got a plan.
There's an overarching message of
Always got a plan.
Be prepared. Don't panic in this. Have a plan. So you leave the inundation areas, get inland, get upward. So the official warning came down just before 3 o'clock
Bottles,
our
beans,
time.
and bullets.
And since then, we've seen traffic backups across different parts of the island, across different
Look at this
parts
shit.
of the state.
Oh, this is
Roger
sad, bro.
Morton, City Transportation
people just trying to get
Director,
home.
was saying that bus service will be
I
going
am-
on until
when they
about
show the
6
map again,
o'clock
I'll show
this evening, and then Skyline.
I'm the
last
third
trip
island
is
in,
at
though.
6:35.
They
from
censored your
Kauai.
comment?
So there has been
This
lead time in
island right
so
here, what
there
they're showing
time
is where I'm
for,
at.
Many to take shelter.
Yes, and the emphasis is if you are in a low-lying area to move inward and upward, just as you said, Mark. But what hasn't been
bro.
said is obviously if you are not in a tsunami zone, there is no need for you to be out on the roads.
That's what I'm
Again,
saying,
we're seeing
bro.
these images just
Some
coming
people
into the
be
newsroom
stupid
right
as
now
fuck,
of
dog.
the traffic gridlock all across
Yeah,
the
dude,
island.
I know it's
And
fucked.
the emergency officials
I know it's
wanna
fucked.
make
It's a parking lot
clear
out there.
that we want to make
But you know what? The
sure that we
freeway
do
is probably
not
safe because it's way
congest
off the
and
ground, especially where
overwhelm
we
these
live.
roadways unnecessarily. So if you do have a loved one,
Hold on, let
come
me-
up with
let
a
me- let me
plan
bring up this
and
stuff.
make sure that you have a family member. Go ahead and meet them at that area. We want to go now
live, we're hearing that a news conference is
Hawaii.
happening right
Relax.
now with Governor Josh Green, along with other state emergency
So
officials about
it's
the
coming from
tsunami
this
warning.
direction, right?
Let's listen in.
Everyone is prepared.
Cap, it's coming from
everyone
this
is ready,
direction. I live on this
for
one.
what may
I live on
come,
this island.
But there is always some
It's gonna hit Kauai
uncertainty about the
first,
size of the wave.
and Ni Hao.
In about 5 minutes, we'll reconvene a statewide meeting. We will hear.
So yeah,
an
we're the
update
third
on
island
the
in,
size of
and
the
then it's gonna
wave,
continue
as I
down the
said, as
chain.
it passes through the middle of the Pacific. We'll also be in communication.
One
with
last
other states
shower
and
before
islands
we
such as
drown.
Guam, TSUNAMI, finding out what they have experienced. After the wave is passed, after we're all safe, we will reach out to these other friends of ours across the Pacific to support them in their recovery also.
Mahalo, Governor Andrew.
From what you shared so far, is any of that based on any ocean readings between Russia and between Midway and Russia?
Yes, there was immediately a response from all of the
Better.
nearshore buoys. The question was answered almost immediately right after the earthquake. It was clear to us that there was going to be a wave. As we have shared, we don't know how large a wave usually until it passes Midway, and as you can see, it takes 5 to 6 hours to come across the Pacific in this case. That's why we're
Fuck
always
you, Josh Green.
cautious to first check. We don't want to alarm people unnecessarily, but once we see that there's going to be a wave, we begin our protocol. And
He's like, once we see there's a wave, run for your lives, he just starts running off. What would you guys do? Like, you know, oh
protocol
shit,
results in an
get me out of this
immediate
bitch.
siren, which you heard, just to kind of wake people up to the severity of the situation, followed by the 3 hours out, 2 hours out, the 1 hour out, and the 30-minute out.
How are you getting a tsunami from
At
an
that
earthquake?
point,
Are you
we
joking?
expect
That's the only way
everyone to be
tsunamis
fully
are generated, my
evacuated,
man.
Either out of the inundation zones or vertically.
I don't know, dog.
People should
I don't
not,
know,
and I
dude.
will say it one more time.
Super shaky,
should not,
dude.
as we have seen in the past, stay around the shoreline or risk their lives
lot.
just to see what a
A lot.
tsunami looks like. It is
Small
not
coastal
a
towns
regular
in Russia
wave.
got destroyed,
It will
and they're
actually
close
kill
to
you
it.
if you get hit by a tsunami. So you have to be out of that area. Please do not put anyone in a situation where
Fuck,
General
man,
Logan
it sucks.
has to search and find.
It sucks because my friends are still in traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks. Fucking Ron is still in traffic. Trav is still in traffic.
You with a helicopter. It is not likely we will recover you if a tsunami takes you from the shore.
If you're stuck in traffic right now or in the coming hour or so,
Right.
trying to evacuate, at what point, should you consider, what advice you have to people who are still trying to.
The rest of my family is home, but like my friends are still out there.
To the 7 o'clock.
I believe everyone should have adequate time to get out of the evacuation zones. There were some accidents on the highway as we were aware.
Fuck, me too,
coming
man.
in. We'll
But
continue to update
if
you,
it cuts close,
especially
man, I
based
just
on
hope they
the
go to
size of
higher
the
ground
wave.
because
obviously everyone has to be away from
it
the
is what it
shoreline.
is, dog. At
Be in
that-
contact
that's-
with our
at
tourism
that moment, it is what
authority,
it is.
Jimmy Tokyo,
Same with me,
who's
like,
our
even though I can't make it
director
over to my kids, I'll go to
of
higher
VBAD.
ground.
He's
It's
been
just- it
talking
is
to
what
the
it is.
hotels. I've been speaking to the hospitals. They are prepared. They've actually activated additional shifts in
Yeah, I'm
case
hoping-
there are mass casualties.
hoping they make it home safe, too,
We are
dog.
praying that that will not be necessary.
Something is gonna hit, though.
If the waves come and go, and
The way
then
they're
we'll be
acting.
all clear, we'll be back to fine. We'll be back to normal. We probably will have a lot of debris to clean up. That's where our team will execute kind of the cleanup. There could be some power failures if
I
the
really can't
poles
give you
go
that
down.
answer.
Be
We
aware
do
of
live by
that.
we do live by
There could be
a
some
lock. You know what I
water
mean?
pressure
So it
that
could,
happens,
yeah, it could
sometimes,
potentially
in these
flood over.
circumstances. But once we give the all
Do they
clear,
build buildings
we'll
with
no longer
this in
worry about
mind?
Casualties when we'll just
No,
continue.
no
I really
way.
think people should have plenty of time.
The thing
given
is,
where we are. Some of the
how do you
traffic was
build a
already
building with
beginning
this
to
in mind?
abate when we got here at about 4:55.
I know in
This
Japan
formally
they got the
concludes
seismic
the
locks, but
presser, and we will stay tuned. We will have more updates in future press conferences. Mahalo.
no. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know how that building would look. It would be
So
crazy.
a
though.
news conference with Governor Josh.
When was the
Green
last
and
tsunami
emergency
warning?
officials who
It was
spoke
2011.
earlier, re-emphasizing the same plan.
We had a few.
Echoed by Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi that in a
Yeah, you.
situation like this,
Holla at your
we
boy,
do
dog. You know
have
where I
some
be.
time to prepare. So use that time. This isn't a
Vice
time
versa.
to freak out or panic. And this, what we've been seeing is, aside from the traffic jams, some of the crowds at
Right.
grocery stores are very
It is gonna- yeah, it's gonna hit
measured
Canada as
response
well.
statewide.
Yeah, we're even seeing those long lines at the gas pumps
Maybe
as
with
well. But an
airbags.
important
No,
thing that
that's
was
pretty good.
mentioned in
No. But I know Japan, right? Their harbors and shit have big ass airbags, bro. So we can play off the grid, bitch. We about to be off the grid in real life.
the Honolulu press conference with Mayor Blangiardi was about.
Yeah, the Japanese have like little airbags that come up. It's kind of crazy. No, I know they make seismic buildings, but I don't think they make
who is relying on
what you call
that
tsunami-proof
service.
buildings.
Roger Morton, you just heard. Call them up. Call your family member up and let them know that it's likely they will not be picked up. Again, he said 93% of handy van services are running late at that time, and he's urging families.
So only as of recently, everybody from like our supermarkets and shit got to go home. 5 o'clock was the cutoff.
Yeah, and let's give you just a recap.
Now all of them
kind
have to
how
head home in
this
traffic, which is
afternoon has
crazy.
Unfolded. The initial quake off the far east region of Russia happened about 1:30
Damn it,
this
Russia!
afternoon. Was an 8.0. About
I know they have
20
no
minutes
control
later,
over that.
It got
Do they?
updated to an 8.7 magnitude quake. Extremely powerful, very deep below the ocean's surface,
That's
and
even
then it
more
was
fucked
later
up.
upgraded to an 8.8. The first anticipated arrival is around 7:10, so about an hour and a half away. Governor Green was saying that a lot of the traffic on their way in, throughout Honolulu seems to have dissipated, as many have seemed to have found their sites.
Yeah.
We're staying with you throughout this entire time. So is our First Alert weather team. Let's send it over to meteorologist Drew Davis with the latest. Drew.
Let's take a look at some of the historical
Oh, right there.
context
Historical
for
shit
this,
for a way.
earthquake near Russia. Of course, I'm going to break this down percentage-wise. We've got the tsunamis that have affected Hawaii. 19%
Right.
come from the west
Yeah.
coast of South America, and this is since the 1850s, so it's a large swath of 150 years of data out there. And notice this, the second
90%
most,
west coast of America.
16% from Kamchatka and the Kuril Islands just off to the east of Russia. Going down, you've got the west coast of North America. That's about 13%. 13% come from Alaska.
Is that
and
even
then
a 100%?
come from New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and it goes down as you're going closer to Indonesia. Well, you may notice about 6% is actually missing from this.
Yeah,
chart.
I was
The
about to
rest of
say.
the 6% comes from Hawaii. And I do want to talk about, again,
fair.
some of the historical context
Gotcha.
from the 16% that come from
Oh,
Kamchatka
dude,
and
that
the Kuril
sucks.
Islands. In 1952, we had another earthquake off of the same area of Russia, the same fault line that we've been talking about. Over the past couple of weeks, we had a magnitude 7.5 a couple of weekends ago that actually
Yeah.
triggered another tsunami watch. Again, we do have that tsunami
We had
warning
that one,
right
but that
now.
was nothing.
Watch upgraded to a warning around 3 p.m. this afternoon. There were no deaths from that
Yeah,
1952
Matt, Josh just
earthquake
got here,
in
dog.
Hawaii, and I'm just reading some of the information that we have directly from NOAA. But the waves caused houses to collide, beached boats, destroyed piers, scoured beaches, and removed road pavement. And here on Hawaii Island, they had
105% would have fucking sucked. Like, wait a minute.
3 feet.
What
1
is
meter
going on right now?
Maui, 9 meters on Oahu, and 3
9
meters on Hawaii.
meters.
Again, that's that 16% coming from Kamchatka
Oh,
and the Kuril
fuck.
Islands just off of Russia. Again, this is just a little bit more context to show you that it's very common here in Hawaii, at least over the
thank
last
you.
150 years, and that's the only data that we have here, that we see these tsunamis moving across the Pacific Ocean and across the open water towards the island chain. For now, I'm going to send it back to Mark and Steph.
I don't feel good about this all of a sudden.
And we just got this in from Hawaiian Airlines. They issued a statement saying that we are monitoring a tsunami warning for the Hawaiian Islands and portions of the state of Alaska and assessing our flight operations. We are holding flight
It's eerie on a
departures
plane.
to
We got
the
about 45
islands
minutes
of
out.
Hawaiian,
Everybody.
islands on
thought
Hawaiian
internet phones
Airlines and
started going off.
Alaska Airlines, and
Oh, I
as
see, I
a
see.
safety precaution, flights en route to Hawaii
Wait,
are
wait,
returning
you can
to
buy
the mainland
internet phones
or diverting
on the plane
as
now?
needed, and guests with travel to or from the Hawaiian Islands should check the status of their flight before heading to the
Right back.
airport. So we're going to be monitoring all the impacts here.
Yeah, and this is a statewide transportation response. When you have this much time leading up to when the initial wave is expected to arrive, a lot of the state agencies, a lot of those in the transportation business are, sending out their updates. We heard earlier this afternoon that the Hilo Airport is closed in regard to harbors.
Oh,
those
internet
are the,
access.
Boats are in vessels.
doesn't
are
everyone have
expected to take
internet
them
access
out,
nowadays?
Away from the harbor to avoid any sort of damage and keeping them tied off into the slips, because heading out into the open ocean is actually beneficial in these types of
Yeah,
situations.
dip, bro.
And we
All the
also
boat
heard as
ownership
well,
dip. I dip. Fuck
State
that.
Department of Transportation officials and the
Riding
military
big waves,
saying
dog.
that Kole Kole Pass is open for Leeward Coast residents.
Right, and our Mahealani Richardson is standing by with an update on that. She just spoke to military officials and joins us now with the latest.
Right there, midway.
That's right, Steph and Mark. This is in conjunction with the U.S. Army, the U.S. Navy, and state officials that Kole Kole Pass, linking the west side, particularly in the Lualua Valley area, is now connected to Central Oahu and Schofield Barracks. For many, many years, we had heard complaints, especially from those in the Windward.
I can imagine, Cap,
that they were trapped and they could not get out if there was an emergency because there is one way in
the news
and one way
keep
out.
rolling, dog.
And after the Maui wildfires, people were particularly concerned. And so earlier this year, U.S. Army officials and the state had an exercise to rehearse this exact scenario. We just spoke to the U.S. Army garrison.
They were getting ready for this shit?
And here's what he had to say.
Oh my God.
So the U.S. Army,
get off my
in partnership
screen,
with the U.S. Navy, the DOT, and HAIMA have opened up Kole Kole Pass on the leeward side to facilitate evacuations from the west side.
10% of the globe or 10% of Americans? Double chin fire. Dude, what the fuck, bro? Just like the Lahaina wildfires.
Using the pass now, can you give us a sense of what's happening there now?
Yes.
That is very shocking,
both gates,
considering we're a
Navy
first
and Army
world
gates have been opened,
country. You know what I mean?
Kole Kole Pass, and civilian motorists are currently traveling from the Navy side onto the Army side.
Neck
into
gang,
Central
cousin.
from the west side.
Yes, ha.
It was a long-standing issue to use Kole Kole
Dispatch,
Pass.
you should
I
make a
remember
game
lot
like
of,
that, bro.
People were anxious about
I would play that
being
game. That
able
shit would be
to
fire.
evacuate the west side because there's really
Every
only
country
one way
has
in and
a
one
fucking
way out. And there was an exercise
something.
specifically for this earlier this year. What can you tell us about that exercise?
That's like, bro, that's like
earlier this year,
60% of the world.
We partnered with the Navy,
Good for them,
DOT,
though.
and DEM for an exercise that simulated a wildfire on the west side. So to get vehicles from west side of Oahu to central Oahu using Kole Kole Pass. So that was a proof of concept for something that we're using in a real life scenario today.
Kole.
At least during your time with the Army, has Kole Kole Pass been used before for an emergency?
We're there, guys.
For an actual emergency, this is the first time that I've seen Kole Kole Pass been used for a real life scenario. We would like to say that
this matchy sick fucker.
Several hazards.
Honestly, believe that because if rich
folks that decide to use this evacuation route, be extremely cautious.
So this is actually military. This is the west side right here. That's all military personnel. They own everything.
You know, most people have not.
So it's supposed to hit the
traveled
west
along
side
that path.
first.
So how long does it take?
Right. So the pass technically starts around Lualua Naval Road.
Lualua.
Turn right there at the Nanakuli McDonald's onto the road. Go all the way back. It's very straight. It's mostly
now you
2
thinking ahead,
lanes
dog.
until you come across a small bridge. But it is fully paved. There may be some rocks in the road. So again, we just advise people to be extremely cautious while you're going up the pass.
And how long would it take to travel the whole pass?
With no traffic, it takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes to transit the pass. With traffic a little bit slower, it's hard to tell. I would say maybe upwards of 30 minutes or so. But it is the only
not bad,
alternative
though.
route if you're stuck in gridlock.
Get out of
on Ferry
Waianae.
City.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like our viewers at Hawaii News Now to know about the military's efforts during this tsunami warning?
Yeah, run for your lives, motherfuckers! Like,
I
oh
just want
shit!
everyone to know that the
Panic!
military is
Everybody
here
panic!
As a community partner.
We're talking
We
traditional
also live here
white
in the
people. We're
community.
talking
Our
about white
families
people
are in the
tacos.
community.
11,000
So we want everyone
ingredients,
to,
yeah?
You know, be safe and get to safety if you are in low-lying areas.
Traditional
And,
would be
look
too
for
expensive
updates
to
on
put
official
into the weather
channels.
system.
Can you tell us any information specifically about your service members and how they might be preparing if
With
they
olives.
are in low-lying areas?
I kind of like olives in my tacos,
Right,
though. I'm
so
not
we
gonna
do
lie
have
to
a
you.
couple of installations on low-lying areas.
Gives it that extra mush.
Kini'ao Army Recreation Center
Gives
was evacuated about an hour ago, so the guests there
Tacos, it
have
could
been
be
evacuated
white
from
people
the
tacos,
west
could be
side.
Mexican
We
people
also
tacos.
have several thousand guests staying at the Halikoa in Waikiki. So those guests are, to be protected from any potential storm surge, are advised to be roughly the 3rd or 4th floor and higher.
Okay, so the guests at
What's
the
crazy-
Haikua, they're not being evacuated, but they're
Bro, what's crazy right now is you guys are gonna be fucking treated to something special, yeah. Because right now it's summertime. The sun doesn't go down until about almost 8 o'clock. So actually, you guys might be able to see the receding waters, and the tsunami actually coming in.
They were told to go to the 4th floor.
There's only been like one
Right,
time in my
especially with
life
traffic
where I've seen
concerns and
receding
everything,
waters, but no tsunami come back in.
Anyone in a high rise,
And it was daytime too. It was like in the morning.
Are
it
you
happened.
getting any first reports specifically from the Halekoa and just how the
Yeah, you am.
situation is in Waikiki?
No specific reports. I did see that there are several folks still on the beach. So I would just really advise folks, take this
Drone
warning
foot. Yeah, that's not another
seriously.
question. I live way too far.
Your safety.
I mean, I don't
should
live
be
far
utmost
from a body of
concern.
water that's connected to the ocean. What I'm trying to say, but yeah. Why'd he freeze?
And that
Oh, okay.
is
Woo!
Nathan Wilkes from the U.S. Army
Woo!
Garrison.
Got me
He's
going.
the
I
spokesperson
wish,
there.
dude.
Again, Kolekole Pass is open, linking Lualualei area on
say
the
white
west
people's
side
on the beach.
to Schofield Barracks.
You would not
in
be
central
wrong.
Oahu.
Cap.
That pass was just.
Cap, hold up, Cap. And this is for real, dog. Every single time we do have a tsunami thing going on, there's at least some idiot when the water goes out, they're just over there playing in the sand, like, and just doing whatever the fuck they want. They show them live on TV, bro. Fucking
Just
white
an
people.
exercise earlier this year, a
I got a prime
multi-agency
vantage point.
exercise,
True,
and
but
it's now
I'm
being
far from a
used for real
coast.
life. Back
I'm
to
not
you.
far from a
Honey,
coast,
we
but
appreciate that report and stand
I don't want the
by
waters to
live
come here.
now
Yeah,
is
just
Hawaii
let's
County
put it that way.
Mayor Kimo Alameda. Mayor Alameda, thank you so much for joining us right now. I'm sure you and your administration are definitely monitoring the situation at this hour.
well, a little more than an hour left.
Can you tell us what the county is doing to prepare?
Right now,
Do I have a plan that's above 10 feet?
activated several hours already, and we got all
Kimo!
hands on deck. We got all the departments here. And,
How many influencers
we're working
had- probably
across
a lot of them,
jurisdictions,
dog.
So state, National Guard, Red Cross, our county workers as well. We've been through this before. And
Not gonna
this
lie,
is,
the adrenaline dump is crazy.
We're the island with the disasters, right? So it's like a well-oiled machine. So we're doing really well right now.
Mayor, what can you tell us about the shelters available and the
I
resources
see wearing a life
there,
vest. Yeah, you.
that,
She ready to go,
being provided
cuz.
for those that want to attend the evacuation.
She gets she grit. You know what I mean? She gets she grit.
Yes, absolutely. We activated all our shelters, and so we're sending out messages already.
Because it's Hawaii,
various
bro.
means, social media, our website.
It's funny though.
press
That's
release,
a great
you know,
observation.
Where the
Really killing
shelters
the
are at. We
mountains.
also deployed our our teams to make sure that there's water and food, and and we're reaching out to our hotels.
No, but like
those
I
in the
shit you not.
low-lying areas.
I shit you not. Like the only place they actually really wear suits in Hawaii government is probably in Congress, and even then they kind of have a twist to it too. Like they don't really do it traditional. Pretty funny though. It
Transportation,
is pretty funny.
We have that as well. So we are transporting some
Sick
folks
puppies.
who need the transportation to our shelters as we speak.
And Mayor Alameda, the alert came out after 1:30 this afternoon. What are you seeing out there on the roads?
I know,
Are
right?
people heating
We don't
the
even know where these people are, and they're already wearing life jackets. Like, come on, man.
Yes, they are. In fact, there is
Don't you
a
really-
road
No.
congestion. And so,
Bro,
my message to the
the aloha shirt is not ours. I just want to throw that out there.
residents
Never
is
made
to
that
be
shit.
patient.
A Canadian did. Just
so
a
we have
Canadian,
time.
like Hawaiian pizza. Not just
And, be respectful.
We can't put all the
And
blames
we
on the
sent out
Canadians.
Our
yeah.
police officers, as well as our firefighters.
Little
to,
more
make
than
sure
an
that
hour
the
left.
roads are safe, and if we need traffic cops in different areas, we are deploying them as we speak.
What kind of action is being taken as well in regard to the ports? And many have vessels tied up at harbors. What has been the message there?
Well,
this should be kinda crazy,
That's
actually.
all, danger zones, right? So, they know the protocols on our island. They're very familiar with what to do with those vessels. In fact, Private
Hey, yo,
America,
Josh. I think this is the best response I've ever seen, though. Like, Hawaii queso back there,
a big
crazy.
ship, they
Yes,
they know
huh?
what to do, and so
This
they
has
head
been
out
the
to
best
the
response
sea.
ever since the Lahaina wildfires. There
There's
was no
safety
response there, and they knew
we,
they had
we
to.
took on their
They had
passengers.
to tighten
We
up their shit.
Provided them with transportation to our shelter as well. So, like I said, we
Yeah, you
we
better
have
keep-
protocols in place.
Be real, cuz.
We've been there before, and we're just implementing it as we speak.
And Mayor, do you
Would
have
you
a
ever believe
message
this guy's
for
a
air
mayor?
travelers, and can you update
No,
us
yeah,
on
they're
the
taking it really.
situation at
After
Hilo
the
Airport
Lahaina
at this time?
wildfires and how many people died just
Sure,
because they
so
fucking
Hilo
suck
Airport's closed.
and all that
Kona
shit.
Airport's open, and
They know.
it's in a safe zone, and so they are continuing their flights, is what I'm told. So yeah, so if you're coming into Hilo or if you're going out of Hilo, it ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Josh, even my mom just came home from the mainland.
Hawaii County Mayor.
She said they landed
Timo
and then it went
Alamino,
off.
A comprehensive response being activated statewide right
Well, I mean, yeah, for real, right?
now. Mayor, thank
Yeah, every island has their own mayor, but there's only one governor. Yeah.
you very much for
Right
joining us.
now,
I'm sure
it
we'll be
is
talking
currently
with you,
5:48
more throughout
p.m.
the evening as we keep a close watch.
The first wave is
on this
expected at
tsunami
7:10
warning.
p.m.
So shelters are activated. There
Little
was a
more
lot
than
of
an hour.
lead-up time to this. Many are heading for higher ground. Speaking of which, we caught up with back here on Oahu. Our very own Billy V caught up with some residents and visitors who headed up to the Tantalus area in Makiki.
Tantalus.
Thank you very
Great
much. There's
place.
a steady stream of cars up here in Tantalus. People
Bad.
just, trying to find
Here,
a place to
let
go.
me see if I can.
Maybe they left Waikiki. Maybe they left the lower areas. Or maybe they're heading on the freeway and they had to go all the way to the west side.
Oahu traffic cams, bro. Oh, Kip, Kip. We just struck out. Struck out big time. No. Hawaii traffic cams, bro. Like, how hard is that to find?
Right now, joining
Ow!
us.
Jump scare. Bro, that fucker was loud, bro. No. What am I doing? Google. Let's hit Google for that. Google. Okay, I typed all of that for nothing. Honolulu My Way. Choose the camera. Wow! That's crazy. Oh man, you telling me? Look at that. Oh, can I look at the camera? No, never mind. Oh my god. Right there. Boom. Look at this. This shit is backed up as far as I can see. What kind of shit is this? Why do we have live feed? We got about an hour. You guys got about an hour 40. Yes, maybe. Oh, this is trash. I want a live feed, cuz. Look at this, but it's fucked up because, like, most people live out the west side, and this is headed to the west side. So, yes, it's a fucking parking lot on the freeway. While you have an hour left to get home, or whatever the fuck you got going on.
What we're seeing with this one caused $8.94 million in damage. So, of course, there is cause for concern, especially when it comes to infrastructure and potentially impacting those near coastal areas.
Yeah, and when we're talking about 8.8, remember that the Fukushima tsunami was generated by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake.
Look at
So
that, dude.
8.8
Fukushima's
is very
a little
close
bit
in
bigger.
magnitude. It is still
Even
a
though
bit
it's
weaker
yo,
because,
yeah.
again, the magnitudes are exponential. But
Oh,
when you
yeah.
start getting into the upper 8s, the lower 9s in particular, and, when you start getting to 9.2, which I think was the Chile earthquake, definitely it's something to basically be
No one's on
aware
what
of
island?
and to be prepared. Right now, let's head back to the desk with Mark and Steph.
No one's on
Thank
Neat
you
Hill. Well, there are
very
people that live in
much,
Neat Hill.
There, Ben and Drew, for your analysis there. We also just got a list here, and we'll read that off for you, of the shelters on Maui. But first, we want to show you these images just into the newsroom of the busyness at the gas station over in Eva Beach. You can see
It's fucked up. Get out of
long
Eva
lines
Beach,
of
bro.
people there, and you heard from
Eva
Mayor
Beach is like
Giorgi,
destruction zone 1.
and other first responders said, please just keep your cool. The roads are congested. But on the lighter side, we are actually seeing that traffic is tapering off in some areas.
Yeah, in certain areas. I mean, through the thick of the afternoon, coinciding with the typical
So-
rush hour, there was traffic, a gridlock in parts of Leeward, Oahu. We also saw lines
Right
in
there.
Windward, Oahu. In town, we want to pull up this video. This is, many flocking to grocery stores to stock
Don
up on
Quixote.
supplies at Don Quixote. This is kind of what happens in an event
You see
like
this
We
little
see
island
this
up here?
with
Wait.
hurricanes. Good thing about tsunamis is that you have typically
This little island right here, no one can go to
several
it.
hours
But there are
to
people that live there.
prepare.
There's
But,
like one white family
backups
and a whole bunch of
throughout
full-blooded Hawaiians that live
Honolulu
there.
County, but we also
They speak
saw
like a whole
footage
different
from
dialect
across
of
the state as well.
Hawaiian
We
as
also
well.
have This
But
footage
yeah,
right now.
no one is
was
allowed
a
there. I can't go there.
aerial
You can't go
shot.
there. No one can go there. Ow! Okay. I don't watch that. Where's the Hawaii shit? KHON. Where's the live, motherfuckers?
There's no other place like Hawaii.
Okay. Well, there's no live. That's insanity. Fox News. Where did I get all those? Yeah, I gotta go to the website. You are fucking totally correct. Bang! Fuck, I don't know yet, dog. To be honest, I don't know yet, Jose. No one goes past the reef. No, literally, like there's like a one way in, one way out kind of fucking thing going on in Niihau. I mean, they take them. I mean, okay, so Niihau is like prone to droughts. I know that. Don't say that. Don't say that, man. KHON. Noah's flooded. Why am I streaming? What the fuck else I got to do, dog? What am I gonna do? Lay down and die? Go with a bang. Nah, there's no way. I was on YouTube, right? Right there. Always move now.
Time for us to be calm in moving to inland and higher land. So we just want people to
Maui's
move out of
mayor.
the tsunami
Shit is weird,
zone
bro.
areas, the inundation
Noah's
zones.
flood is crazy.
We want them to move inland, go to higher ground. But
There
we
is
don't
a
want them to
flash flood in
panic. We
Texas?
don't want them to, you know,
What is
have
up with
to,
the weather, dog?
Be rushed. We know the
weather
traffic
modifications.
is challenging right now because people are trying to do just that. But we just want the messages: stay calm, work together. There's plenty of time for everyone to move.
Well,
out. We're
I know
not
if it does
expecting the
hit.
first wave.
Yeah,
hit
hold
Kauai
on and
until
enjoy the ride, bro.
7:10.
Especially if it's super destructive.
That's the
You know what I mean?
information we received. We're gonna get another update maybe in about 10 minutes from Pacific Tsunami Warning, so we'll get a better idea.
I got
how big it is and
Come
how
on,
fast
man,
it's
you know what I
traveling.
mean?
That's our best estimate.
Mid-July,
Here
is
on
that
Maui, we want people to know
is
there are
that
going to be shelters
out
open.
of
There's 5 of
is
them.
that out of place?
The Lahaina Luna High
'Cause
School, the Molokai High
ours is
School,
like,
the Molokai Hana
October
High School,
to
the Wailuku Community Center, and the
February,
Kihei
I
Community
wanna
Center.
say?
They'll all be open. They'll be staffed, so people will have a place to
Save
go.
water,
There'll
drink
be
whiskey.
places
Yes,
for them to
I.
rest, stay,
That's why we hit in the
while
Modelo's.
they ride
I got
this
water
out,
though.
literally,
I got water.
And bathrooms. We want people to know that our
I got water in a
water,
plant. Let's just put it that way.
especially in all the
I got water in
coastal
a plant.
zones. From Wailuku to Napili, Lahaina, the different coastal areas, that water will be shut off, and that's to prevent any contamination and any destruction of the system.
But if there is
It
crazy
won't all be
destruction
shut
where
off
like
at the
no
same
one's going to
time, and
work
there's a
tomorrow,
sort
then
of a
yeah, we're
rolling
gonna
shut-off
fucking
and
go
start
right
to
around
shut,
saving people,
down. So people
looking
want to
for
start
people at
filling up
least. You know what I
storage
mean?
Containers.
That's
with
the
water.
ultimate
Now would
plan
be the
right there.
time to do that before
Fuck the
that
bullshit,
gets to
dog.
their areas. We want people to.
I got my
be
trusty
aware of what's
Sawzall with
online.
me.
The
I should have
different
bought a chainsaw.
alerts that are out there, the sirens, the meme
Oh yeah,
alerts.
for sure, dog. We're gonna ride
Again,
around
just to
fucking
take care of each other.
looking for people.
That's really the big message. Take care of yourself, your family.
It's Hawaii, baby.
Our kupuna and
Ride
help those
waves
that
for a
need
living.
extra assistance.
Not these kind of
Mayor,
waves.
I
though.
want to ask, can you list off
Disclaimer.
some of those specific communities that people should be clearing out of right now? Just earlier, I was by the Queen Kahumanu shopping center, and there was still a line of people going
The last
toward
alarm
the
is about to
low-lying
go off
areas. Can you just list
in
off some
14
areas that people
minutes.
should not be going into?
Yeah, most people know what zones they live in and the inundation zone. We have it online, so people can go on. There's also a map at the NOAA, NOAA site. There's also pretty explicit maps. But anywhere that's an inundation zone, the low-lying areas from Waihe'e, Wailuku, Kahului, there's several throughout the island, throughout. And what is important for people to know is that this wave will be a wraparound wave. So although it come from the west, when it hits, it'll wrap around the island. So the coastal areas.
Well, Alex, you live mad high, huh? Not even mad, right?
Evacuated and head to Highland.
Mad.
Obviously out in the
Mad
west side of Maui.
city.
All the beach zones, the beach areas.
Do I have my
know.
work radio with me? Nah, I don't
we
got
just
no
want
work
people
radio.
to be safe.
I don't want to
You
talk
might
to
be seeing
nobody.
people go in to get their things to leave. and to evacuate. And so
on north tomorrow then, huh?
I don't know. The pending damage, because bro, we're right there on a waterway.
Maui, that have been used for our temporary
So who
debris
knows?
sites.
Whoa.
So it's from Kuihelani Highway
Who the
to
fuck is this
Veterans Highway
guy?
or Mokulele, and then from Mokulele up to the Pulehu or Maupio roads.
Oh,
People
I mean,
are
we're
using
kind of
it.
we're off the
MPD is
we're off the
monitoring
beach
it.
too, so I'm
So people
hoping
can
in
cut
the
through,
mean road
used to be
closures.
the
Yeah,
cane fields and get up to that the upcountry homes
would be
quicker
real nice
instead of having to
for
go
your
to
boy.
what we all know on
We're gonna
Maui,
see.
the
For your
Hampton
boy.
Road or Halakala Highway.
Some roadie
So there are
closures,
also
yeah.
JW.
that are taking advantage of those routes right now, so we can alleviate again the
Huh?
traffic.
No.
And,
I'm talking to
again,
chat.
We're trying
I'm
our
streaming
best.
right now.
People can call
Oh.
911. They can call the MEMA hotline as well. We have a MEMA hotline. I want to say 270
Yeah, you.
7825.
Bro, we never got no
I believe it
update
is.
about the
That's
tsunami
the
passing
number that
Midway. Like, what the
people
fuck?
can call, in order to get that information.
That's what I'm
We have the number
saying.
someplace,
This
but-
shit is
sorry,
strange as fuck.
270-76.
Dog, it's
So
non-existent,
That's
bro.
our MEMA
Maybe.
number, 7633. So again, we can.
Costco needed
assist
extra
with
sales.
what you need, especially
Damn,
with
so they called in a
information.
favor, huh?
We want people to.
Yeah.
They tap
so
shoulder,
we can
big
send
dog.
a
Whoop,
car
whoop.
to get
Come
them.
on,
Walmart,
man.
dog.
Send our paratransit.
Hey, bro, our sales are down.
trucks, our
We gotta hit
Maui
hit quota by the end of the
vans.
quarter.
We have people making rounds right now, trying to get people out of those areas before the waves hit.
And last question, can you talk about some of
Yeah, there is
exactly
waves,
what you
though.
mentioned, but for
It hit,
Maui police, your EMS, what are they doing
it hit
right
Japan
now,
and
and are
shit.
they,
But they're so close,
how
it
are
wouldn't
their
even make a
levels? Are they
difference.
Pushed? Is it all hands on deck? I mean, how are they feeling?
Well, this is absolutely all hands on deck, but it's very measured.
I'm trying to look up videos
the
of
Maui Police
like
Department, which
jacked
always
up
comes through
damage.
for
But
us
I
in our
don't know.
emergencies, I will say. They're helping us control the traffic.
Oh, Malco was
They're
saying
helping us control,
Harbor's Point and Eva Beach is our
you know,
reef
the
at the moment.
Evacuations.
No.
So right now,
Yep.
it's we're
It's about an hour out.
evacuations for everybody. who's
How
in those
would I
low-lying
show you
areas.
that?
Absolutely.
there's gotta be
You know, and
pictures.
then we're
People
trying to offer the
How do- how-
shelters
how does he
so
even
people
know
have a
that?
place to go besides.
I don't know,
you
this fool
family.
kinda lives at the
I should
beach,
say
so-
here on Maui, Oski Rice Arena also opened their parking area upcountry in that Makawao, Olinda area. So anyone in the upcountry area who's looking for a place to park their cars and ride this out, Oski Rice Arena. Thank you to those folks for offering.
Well, they got some shitty phones
their
in Russia,
location
yeah.
as well. I'm
Oh,
sure there are
yeah.
other places, neighbors
They
that are
got
helping
some
each other
bad-
that I may
Hell
not be
yeah, they
aware
got
of right
bad-
now.
Some
This
bad
is the latest
cameras, dude.
information we have, Dylan. We're hoping to get an update in just a few minutes.
Good, Mayor, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Japan looks fine. It just looks like they get freaking good waves to surf.
So once again, that was Maui County Mayor Richard Bisson providing us the latest on what they are doing to prepare the residents of the Valley Isle to make sure that everyone is safe and out of.
Wow, again, bro. Why do I keep doing that? Hawaii News Now, huh? Oh, kidding.
Show us your fucking.
School as well, preparing to open. Earlier this afternoon, around 4 o'clock, 4:10, during the sounding of the first emergency siren, well, second, I should say, I did see a long line of people that were still.
Oh, kind of windy in Maui, huh, brother?
Low-lying areas of Kahului. We were right outside the Queen Ka'ahumanu Center,
Get
and
here,
there
Elmer.
was traffic back to back. And looking at the maps here, it still looks like.
Yeah, he ain't got really much to say. He ain't got really much to say. Last alarm should be going off in 9 minutes. Wow! Press okay stuff.
Oh, there's gonna be another one at 10:10, bro. The wave doesn't hit till 7:10:17. Or sorry, 7.
7:10
for me. The first wave is 7:17, guy. I thought.
7:10.
Oh. You don't think they're gonna siren when the waves are supposed to hit? Come on.
No,
course.
they're doing one every hour until just so everybody fucking gets the fuck out, yeah?
On the lower areas, make sure to make your way upland. Now, Maui, of course,
what is them talking about?
is very tricky because so many of their communities are coastal communities.
Bro, look at this
And so
random
what we're seeing
chicken.
right
Yeah.
now is two sides
Living
of the
life.
Valley Isle, residents from both sides essentially
Where?
making their
There's a
way
random
up
chicken
to
in
higher
his
ground
back.
to
Oh, I see him.
whether
I
that's
see him behind the
Yeah,
truck.
yeah.
going up the Mauna.
Oh,
And
there's
so
another
we are
man in a
keeping
truck?
a very close
Yeah, there he
eye
is.
on all of the situation, the happenings here on the Valley Isle.
Oh,
and
that's
we'll
like
bring
a
you
duck or
more
something.
details
Oh, no,
as
that's
we
a
get
chicken,
them.
yeah.
Again, Mayor Bisson is
Little chicken.
inside
Oh, there's
Maui
a
County's
freaking
Emergency
hen in the
Operations
back.
Center, and they are
There it
getting
is.
constant updates, and we are learning those updates.
Fuck are you doing,
alongside
guy?
all of you live in Maui.
Yo,
So
he's
things
trying to
back
get his
the studio,
fame.
guys.
Thank you very much, Dylan. And we
Yup.
are still awaiting a news conference that could begin at any moment, and we'll take you there live. Hawaii emergency management officials are gathering. But right now, we want to
Tons
go to
of wild
Oahu's
chickens in Hawaii,
North
dog.
Shore,
Tons.
where we have our Kyle Chinen standing by.
Tons of
Hi,
wild
Kyle.
pigs, tons of deer.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We're
chicks,
here
those.
at Sunset Beach here on the North Shore, and it's very eerie scene right now. It's a ghost town, one of the more popular beaches here on the North Shore, especially
Brother, why
during
are you by the
summer months. We got
ocean?
here at around 5 o'clock, right before sunset, people catching off. Just want to show you the beach right now. It was sunny. It's sunny right now. It was a little bit dark and gray and rainy just a couple of minutes ago, and like I said, it's pretty eerie seeing here a very popular beach that is empty right now.
This
during
beach is
the
full of
summer
tourists
months,
at
and
all times.
on our way here, it was
What do you mean in my
very
country,
packed
Andy?
full of
That's
cars,
what.
bumper to bumper with people trying to leave the area.
Cops are trying to keep
First,
people in
when we were
Waikiki?
leaving, or we're heading here from the Kaneohe side, people leaving from Polynesian Cultural Center, Kualoa Ranch, heading that way back to the Kaneohe area and town. And then
Actually
we
smart, I
got
mean.
onto this side past Kuhuku
Yeah.
High School. And
Waikiki
into
is on the other side,
The
yeah.
line of cars are going this way, heading towards the Haleiwa side. Everyone trying to get away
Just hope
from
it's
the
not crazy,
shoreline.
dude.
And that was an encouraging thing to see, although it was bumper to bumper on the roads. People were trying to get to higher ground, getting away from the beach, and people were practicing their patience. Not a lot of people trying to overtake. They understood the situation, and we passed by stores and different establishments here along the road and on the North Shore, and it was just a ghost town essentially. It looks clear now. A lot of people. I want to show the road. Just about an hour ago, it was at a standstill almost, and now you just see a little bit of local traffic here and there, some trucks driving by as people are preparing for the first wave to hit, which is supposed to hit in about an hour now on Kauai. But here on the North Shore, people are being prepared and staying ready for the chance that a wave hits here on Oahu. Now, excuse me. As you can see, it's clear, it's pretty barren, minimal cars on the road now, people getting to safety and getting out of the shoreline areas here on the North Shore. And as we continue to get updates here from the officials at the state and city level, and we'll keep you guys updated. But for right now, it seems that everyone is heeding the warnings from the officials here in the state to stay away from the shoreline and stay and get to higher ground. So that's kind of the scene here, a very quiet and unusual sight for the North Shore here during the summer months. That's the latest here, reporting live from the North Shore. Guys, I'll send it back to you guys.
Is it raining?
Kyle,
yeah,
thank
it's
you very
raining.
much.
Raining.
Yeah, what a image that we saw right there, and also as we saw some of the response vehicles rolling through the region, as we saw earlier this afternoon. Some DLNR officers were clearing beachgoers off of coastal areas. Can imagine that was also happening on
this
the
is
North
our
Shore
island.
as well. We just got this list from the city of
McKinley,
Oahu, what is being called
Waimanalo,
Tsunami
Valley,
Assembly
Kaha
areas.
Community Park?
We're
I
not
don't know
using
about
the
that.
word shelters for Oahu sites, mainly because there are limited services available. So, if you need to be somewhere when the event is happening, these are areas to gather. Here's the list: McKinley High School, Hahaione Valley Neighborhood Park, Waimanalo District Park, New Valley Middle School, Makaha Community Park, Wailua High and Intermediate School, Kailua District Park, and Kaneohe District Park.
Kahuku District Park, Kalakaua District Park, Wilson Community Park, Eva Mahiko District Park, Nanakuli High and Intermediate,
Nanakuli, baby!
Kokohead District Park, Waipahu District Park, and George Fred Wright Wahewa District.
So
Park.
Travis,
And once again, the city
update on
is
Travis.
not
He got out of
calling
traffic and now he's
these
leaving.
evacuation centers because services are very limited for residents who need to evacuate.
Ronald
and
is still in
move
traffic.
Inland.
Yeah, very limited services right now as we are
Still
mapping
in
out
traffic.
the response in anticipation of that first wave just after 7 o'clock. Another siren is expected to go off at about 6:10, so just a few moments from now. We have
It's crazy because once it
earlier
hits Kauai,
images
fucking a
from
kind
this
of
afternoon of the moment
about
the
like
sirens
20
first
minutes
happened. This is
before
on
it
the
hits
North
Oahu.
Shore, as you can see.
Bitch is
in the
traveling like
Wilson gridlock.
700 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Okay, there was no sound on that, but that was when you had residents looking for, just trying to leave the area, low-lying areas, trying to get inward, get upland. So we're about just an hour out from that first expected wave.
Wonder
As
where
we're also
President
showing you
Obama's
Haleiwa
at.
right now. I think it's also important to note that on a global stage, we are seeing some effects of this
Is he in Hawaii?
tsunami
No, he
reported
lives in Hawaii, right?
earlier in Russia, which is close to the epicenter of the initial quake
Hawaii
itself in
over
the
there.
Kamchatka Peninsula, and then also
In the
tsunami
Chapa.
seen
Oh, shit.
at the island of Hokkaido in Japan reported 1-foot wave. Extent of damage so far not yet known, but when the tsunami made landfall in Hokkaido, the reports are emerging that it was 1 foot.
And for us here locally, of course, the experts at the Pacific Tsunami Warning
Oh,
Center,
1 foot
they're
waves.
still
Sorry, yeah.
waiting for more information and for
Where,
that
Hokkaido?
first passing Midway Atoll to get that first reading, to have more of a better sense in terms of the size
I don't think that video
of
is
those
real of
initial
Russia.
waves that would impact Hawaii, as
Probably
you said,
not.
Mark. 7:10 this evening, the first expected.
She just said
waves
they're
to
waiting for
arrive
Midway.
in Hanalei, and then
Did it hit Midway yet?
7:17
How-
this
I mean, I know
evening
Midway's
here
kinda
for
close,
us
but
here on Oahu,
bitch is
we
not
just
that
also
close.
got an update
Look at people
on
jogging
when
around
we
and
could
shit.
expect
Unless
that
they hit
press
Midway and they're
conference to
gone.
begin with Hawaii Emergency Management Agency officials. Now they're saying anywhere around 6:15 this evening. So we'll bring that to you live as soon as they become available.
A comprehensive response that we are seeing statewide and also from the individual counties themselves as we show you what the roads look like in Hilo this afternoon. The watch became a warning officially just before 3 o'clock Hawaii time this afternoon. What we've seen are
Bro, this
a number
traffic
of
is
developments,
fucking
especially in
retarded,
regard
bro.
to the state's transportation infrastructure. Road closures to stay out of the low-lying areas, what we've seen with the harbors, boaters advised to take their vessels
It's like,
out
bro,
into the
imagine,
open
right? It's a
ocean.
big-ass
And then
tsunami
also,
coming, and then
too,
you're stuck in
we wanna
traffic,
reiterate
like,
that
come
Hawaiian Air
on.
released a statement about 5:30 this evening that they are holding flight
Shit
departures
is
to the island
trash.
on Hawaiian Airlines and Alaska Airlines as a safety precaution. Flights in
And
route
there's
to
no way to
Hawaii are
remedy it,
returning
you know,
to the
there's no way to
mainland
make it better.
or diverting as needed. So you have, what we're seeing here is you're just keeping a close eye on what's going to be happening and taking the utmost precaution as possible.
Right, and if you're still wondering at this hour if you are indeed in an affected zone, you can always go to the Emergency Management Agency website, and there you can scroll for every single county. You can see the latest maps out there that will outline if you are indeed impacted.
Shelters, evacuation sites, tsunami assembly areas. We've been with you nonstop since the warning happened, since the watch happened at around 1:30 this afternoon. We aren't going anywhere. We are staying with you wall to wall throughout this entire event. Our First Alert Weather team has been doing a tremendous job tracking the very latest updates. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Robbins with the very latest. Jen.
Thank you so much, Mark and Steph. A lot of important information right at your fingertips, and you can also get that at hawaiinewsnow.com. And we saw the tsunami warning like we're talking about after 1:30. Now we're approaching that window of time, an hour left. It was anywhere from 5 to 6 hours to get here. Now it is 6:10, expected to come our way at 7:10, so within the hour. Magnitude 8.8.
Last alarm.
A lot of energy. The caliber of earthquakes significant, falling under that 8 to 9 magnitude.
1 hour
Great
out,
when
first
you
wave.
Take a look at the severe damage, loss of life. This happens anywhere from about 1 to 10 years. So we are seeing a lot of energy that's happening over the Pacific Ocean, along that fault line, a lot of shaking, as you know. The Earth's plates rub together, causing an underwater
she didn't gotta say
earthquake.
rub like that,
We
man.
saw the depth that came through, very high in depth.
All of their
I'm
phones
sure
are going off,
you're
too.
Getting the warnings right now. The earthquake causes a vertical push of seawater that causes the tsunami waves. And with that, as the waves spread into shallow waters, it grows in height.
It was 10 feet
and
out there. It was
we're
like
seeing these
freaking
travel
50.
thousands and thousands of miles across the Pacific Ocean. It could travel so fast. If you could think about from point A to point B when you're flying in an airplane, you can see that it takes you so long to travel. Well, these are traveling at 500 miles per hour over the Pacific Ocean, over open waters, and then it gets here
500 miles an hour.
Window.
Like, get
so
out of
take a
here.
look at history. Really interesting when we dive into the tsunami history and their relationship with Hawaii. Hawaii has endured over 160 tsunamis since 1812. Usually the origin that has really impacted us has been Alaska, Chile, Japan, and Russia. It can cause huge surge of energy to travel across the ocean. As
Easy
you know.
to talk when you're in here.
During
Shut
the
up.
past, the most affected area, let's take a closer look.
Guy.
You can see Hilo gets hit the hardest, and the hardest years were 1946, 1960, and 2011. It's known as the hotspot of tsunamis due to
I will
the
be here
wave
when nothing
shape.
happens.
And usually when the
With you
wave
live on the air.
interacts with the wave shape and how shallow it is, it causes bigger waves to come their way over in Hilo. So very interesting with the dynamics of the topography, the depth
Hilo
of the
2011,
bay, and the
nothing
bay
happened.
shape
The waters
itself.
receded, but nothing came
Kona
back in.
has suffered damage in 1975 and 2011.
Whoa.
And as far as the rest of us, Kauai and Oahu's north and east shores can see some run up depending on the wave direction, along with Maui County. And this is key on the wave direction. What kind of wave will be coming our way? There's a lot of unknowns as it's traveling over open waters and that far of a distance. But history shows the magnitude of depth between 8 and 9. You can see in 1960, one of the strongest earthquakes on record.
Up to
It arrived
35
15
feet?
hours later, up to 35 feet, with Hilo receiving a lot of damage there, and we even faced deaths in 1960. In 2010, the Chile earthquake, magnitude 8.8, really highly depends on that direction. It was only 3 feet, so even though it was a high magnitude earthquake, it was only 3 feet in that rise. In
So much
2011,
uncertainty,
the
like, what the
Japan
fuck?
earthquake, 9.1
That's the
magnitude,
fucking
6 to 7 feet.
Like, that's so
Lots of property
crazy.
damage, as you know, and that
No, but it could be
was one
mental. It could not be
3.4.
mental. You know what I mean? We
Taking
don't
a
know.
closer look at Russia coast, we were forecasting 3 to 4, and observations jumped to 10 to 13 feet, so on target of that. Japan, up to 3 meters is in the forecast, but so far the readings observed was only 1.3. That has been confirmed there. Hawaii expected a little more than, or a little less
Surge,
than an
not
hour
purge.
from now after 7
Right.
o'clock. From 1 to 3 meters, about 3 to 10 feet. Highly depends on the wave direction and how it travels over the open waters. Over in Guam, about the same, 1 to 3 feet, falling anywhere from 3 to 10
Where
feet.
are these
So
10 to
none
13
confirmed
foot
yet.
waves in Russia?
We're
I'd
just
like to
waiting on
see.
that. We're closing in on that last hour before it comes our way.
You already just said that.
And I
You just
wanna
said they had
point
crap
that the
fucking
initial
phones. You're not
surge
gonna be
of
able to
energy
see it.
could be much smaller, maybe about 0.1 to 0.3 meters after 10 o'clock. But once we jump up into that 8 o'clock hour, that's when we could see that big jump and rise as all of that energy catches up and comes to the islands. And this is going to be wraparound energy across the entire island chain that we're seeing. But starting at 7:10 over Honolulu this evening. And it's important to note, even though some areas may not see a whole lot
They
of
deadass have
runoff
no footage because
coastal flooding,
it's like probably
it
a
is going to
port
be
for
very
the.
unpredictable with the strong currents. And this has been a concern with a lot of our tsunamis in the past, strong rip currents and the strong currents that will come. So that's why it's important to leave the beaches, not be near waters, not watch from the shorelines, to be at higher grounds, because there's just too much that's unpredictable in all of this. So tsunami warning is up and running, and that is going to be closing in on that hour as we approach 7:10. Market stuff.
That's right, Jen. Thank you so much. And we want to go now live. This is a live look at Hanalei Bay on the Garden Isle. And this is where the first tsunami waves will arrive at around 7:10 this evening.
Yeah, that is the first site of expected activity. We are now less than an hour away. After the quake happened around 1:30 our time this afternoon, we are anticipating an update from State and county emergency officials
boat's
at
out,
any
dog.
moment
He's
now.
like,
When that
"Whew."
happens, we'll be going out to it live. But the first wave is expected to arrive. 710 Hanalei is that first location where we could be seeing any type of activity. So as we're keeping a very close eye on this, we have crews at the Emergency Operations Center. We have a crew on Maui. Dylan Ancheta was there. We just heard from him. And also we have a crew en route to the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center right now, expecting a new update very shortly.
And of course, our First Alert weather team is also standing by with the very latest. And we want to go now to our Ben Gutierrez and Drew Davis for more insight.
All right, good evening, Steph. Good evening, Mark. Of course, we've been tracking this throughout the entirety of the afternoon. The earthquake happened.
Bro, imagine a setup like this.
p.m. Hawaii time.
11,000
One of the things,
65-inch
of course, we've been
screens, and
talking
you just
about
got a whole
is
bunch of shit going on.
How strong this earthquake
Like
Did you say 11,000 65
Upgraded
inch
from
screen?
8.7.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine this. Like, you just put whatever the fuck you
Of
want
course,
on the screen.
We don't typically see an
With it. I'm with it.
in terms of
With
the
it.
Richter scale about once a year. We're nearly at that 8-point or the 9-point scale where we see one of those about roughly one every 10 years. We've been showing this graph a lot today. This is just the overall caliber of the earthquakes. And of course, this is on a fault line that's very active just off of Russia. Ben and I have been talking about this since last week. Ben, you
I feel
were
bad
here
for
in
these guys.
studio
They gotta
covering
keep repeating
a tsunami
themselves
watch for the
nonstop.
island chain for a magnitude 7.5 earthquake, which
I feel
is
bad
an
for them because if
energy
it's bad,
equivalent to
that
about
shit is
1
by like
billion
Young Brothers.
pounds of TNT or
Their studios by Young
explosive.
Brothers.
But this
right
one,
there by the water.
nearly 1 trillion pounds of TNT.
They for
What,
sure.
fentanyl?
Ben, what was it
Huh?
like when we had that watch?
What is that?
By Staten Island? Where's Young Brothers?
Yeah. By Staten Island.
initially?
And that's all you already know, like Mapuna Puna and all of that is all low-lying
there was
fucking
obviously some
areas.
concern because during the watch, this is the period of time when officials, Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, the geophysicists, the seismologists are looking at all the data and trying to determine if a tsunami has indeed been
Difference is
generated.
crazy.
The watch basically means that it's a heads up. You're supposed to take, basically, be aware that an earthquake
Of
has
how many
occurred,
of these
and a
actually
tsunami
occur,
may
or-
have been generated, and then be on the alert for a tsunami advisory, which would tell us that a tsunami is coming, but it won't
We
be
should have
destructive, or a
footage
tsunami
coming
warning
in
where a destructive tsunami
about
could
45
be
minutes.
possible. We've been talking about
From,
even the officials have been
wait.
saying we don't know how big the waves
Oh,
are gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
on
Yeah.
the Kamchatka Peninsula. As
No,
Jennifer's
it's
been
bro, it's that
talking
much stronger.
about,
That's
or
why
Japan,
it's
parts of
crazy. Like
Russia,
a 9 point
some of
something.
them have been
mental.
up to maybe 20 feet or thereabouts, 15 feet. It depends on where you are. Some of the data that we've been looking at have been indicating that we might get a tsunami
Billions to
anywhere
billions
from
is
maybe
crazy.
3 to 9 feet, but that is not for certain. What we do know is that this uncertainty means that we need to evacuate nonetheless because, again, there's a distinct lack of data when you look at the globe. We're in the middle of the Pacific, and basically there's nothing in this large area back here, or over here.
You're making
that
me feel
tells us
small again, damn it.
exactly how big a wave is going to be, how big a tsunami is. We've got all the dart. We've got all the dart buoys that are like right along the coastline, so that'll give us the initial indication. But then when you get to the actual in the middle of the ocean, we have to guess, basically.
We're kind of in a just kind of a
there's
waiting
what?
period right now. Again, we've been reporting
Oh, he's
all
gone
afternoon
already.
and all evening that we're
I mean, what you mean,
waiting
the water's
to
receding
see
already?
Data from the Midway Atoll. That's typically our
Huh?
first chance to see the size of a tsunami when it comes from the northwest or comes from the west, like we've seen in 2011 with Japan. We have to wait to see how it propagates across the Pacific Ocean, and we're about at that time where we're expecting to get that
what a
data soon.
dummy.
And as soon as we hear from the Midway buoys, we will report that as soon as we can. And now we're within 1 hour. Right now, as of on air, it's 6:20 p.m. The original estimates for the Hanalei arrival of the tsunami, 7:10 p.m. We're within 50 minutes of the arrival, or the estimated arrival. It's not going to be exact. Going down the island chain within the next 20-ish minutes. So again, we've got a lot to watch over the next hour or so, and we still have time. You still have time to prepare. You still have time to go upstairs. Make sure to grab important documents, grab water, non-perishables in case you're stuck for a while.
Nobody
And of
called
course,
out, okay.
Make sure to take care of your family first and make
Important
sure they are
documents.
aware.
Where's my important documents?
The other thing to remember is that even though we might not know the size of the wave, again, and just reiterating,
Let's place
this is
dog
not
fridge.
a surf wave. This is an entire
You'd put it in a
column of
fridge?
water that goes from the ocean surface down to the bottom of the ocean.
I don't know about
and
that,
as
dog.
that
Water
ocean
damage.
bottom starts to get higher and higher,
You can't,
as it gets
you
closer
can't
to
laminate
land,
none of that.
that energy is going to be going up into the basically, going upward and spreading out. And so we could still see some very strong currents, even if the wave is not there. Right now, we've got a live press conference to take to you. I think this is over at the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency.
Why is their audio
I'm
garbled?
going to give another quick update here. As everyone has heard several times, a very significant
Sorry,
earthquake off of Kamchatka, creating a wave. Important data point, when the wave passed through Midway Atoll, it was in total from peak to trough, okay, trough to peak, 6 feet. That means a 3-foot wave riding on the top of the ocean.
That's not bad.
And that was the piece of data we got just a few moments ago. We're tracking the wave at several different points. As I said, at Johnson Atoll, we had that wave at 3 feet amplitude. We will also be getting data from Wake Island, and the Aleutians are seeing some waves. And then finally, French Frigate Shoals at 6:33 p.m. we expect more data. Guam will see some waves at 6:57 p.m., but we are still expecting this significant wave. So everyone has to continue to be vigilant. There are
How
a
the
few
fuck
other
did he
things
know?
that I need to report. As to the evacuation, that should be maintained absolutely beyond the waves hit on our island shores. We will only give the all clear when we feel there's total safety. We have begun coordination for additional people. The homeless coordination has been ongoing. We're making sure individuals without houses are notified of the tsunami warning, and they're being
So
removed
nothing
from the
happened
areas.
at Midway?
That coordination's
I
going
know,
on
right?
all islands. We're
I
working
know.
with service providers
I'm so
everywhere.
lost.
I will say, once again, this is a very serious event. We have Blackhawks activated. We have
What the
high-water
Blackhawks gonna do
vehicles
for me?
ready to go. So we will be able to rescue people, but please do
What?
not put yourself in harm's way. Make sure you actually evacuate right now. We're going to have another update from everyone soon at 6:50. You'll hear one more alarm, remember, at 6:40. That's 30 minutes out from when the first wave is expected to hit Kauai, and that will be the last alarm you'll have. But we will give constant updates. I'm going to turn it over now to General Logan.
General Logan.
Aloha and good evening. Thank you, Governor. So the Hawaii National Guard remains postured, as I described earlier. We've placed liaison officers into all the emergency management agencies within all the counties to create a near real-time response capability.
Bro,
We also have additional forces that have been activated. The governor touched on this, but we
Plus,
have
bro has
high
luggage
water
around his
vehicles, which
eyes,
are
dog.
those with large tires, big engines.
Not just bags,
We
but we got
have
luggage
mission
around his
sets.
eyes,
We have
dog.
soldiers
Holy
already doing
shit.
those.
He's
We also
seen
have
some
additional
shit.
aircraft placed into an alert capacity with crews that can do a variety of mission sets, which are medevac, search and rescue, and hoist operations to rescue folks and take them to a hospital care facility or a point of care. I want to reiterate something that Governor Green said is we're not out of the woods yet. We're collecting data as the wave or the energy passes through some of the other islands. We're in constant contact with all of our partners, either on the mainland or within here, our state of Hawaii, the greater part of the Department of Defense, and also transmitting data to our National Guard headquarters on the mainland. So I ask everybody to remain vigilant, take this seriously, and wait until you get the all clear signal, or we reduce the warning to a lower level from either your state or your county official government sources. Thank you very much.
Mahalo Tag. Up next, Hawaii Emergency Management Agency Administrator James Barros.
All right, aloha. As we move this evacuation from those zones, we want to ensure
Yo,
that
his haircut is
you're
half
doing it
bald.
safely
Half
and
fucking
you're not
nuts, bro.
panicking. You have time to get out of the inundation zone.
Why so make the line in the middle of the head,
The
bro?
counties are working their sheltering plan and opening.
How does he look at himself in the
opening
mirror
up
and be like, yeah,
tsunami
no,
assembly
that's
areas.
smooth.
So work with your counties.
One of my
go to your
coworkers had
county
that exact
websites
haircut. I always
and
wanted
see
that.
what shelters are being opened.
'Cause
The
this is
state
so smooth right
posturing
now.
that if needed, we can provide additional support post-impact at the shelters. I have opened the line of communication with FEMA.
Even if this
So
one
we're
doesn't
on,
hit, ladies and gentlemen,
several
boy's getting
calls
close.
So far.
to fucking
FEMA's
hit.
postured to support the state at this time.
Because there's been a lot. Nah, bro, I'm telling you.
Mahalo, Administrator Barros.
It's people like
Finally,
you that
we
get
will
us in
bring
trouble.
up the
No, I'm not gonna
Director of
hit, and then
Business,
they fucking
Economic
hit.
Development and Tourism, James.
Not though, and you know it.
I don't know.
Hello. Aloha.
I mean, obviously you
Thank
don't
you very much
know,
for this
but it's,
I'm not in fucking
there's
butt
no-
crack
I will give an
Vegas,
update
yeah?
on the visitor
There's no
industry and what
indication.
we're doing to the visitors that are here in Hawaii and informing them. I've been in contact with Jerry Gibson from the Hawaii Hotel Alliance and Jeff Wagner. We leaned on them during the Maui wildfire to help us, so we're leaning on them now. And the properties that are along the coastline are being asked to evacuate vertically, 4 floors and above. Some of the people have left the hotels, and the ones that have left the hotels to go to the airport, if they need a place to stay, when the airport is shut down, if it is shut down, then they should call the property that they came from to see if there is still availability at that property so they can go back there. I want to ensure that their friends and family on the mainland understand that there is a plan, and I think we need to give the governor and Administrator Barros and General Logan, big kudos, because there was a lot of training that went on after the wildfires, and this is the perfect opportunity for us to put those training, what we learned in training, into place. So thank you all for
Bro's
that,
haircut is
and
really bothering me.
Be patient with each other. God bless you all.
It's like really bothering me. Like,
Hello,
fuck.
Director Tokioka. At this time, we will open up for questions from the media, and I will call upon everyone one at a time. And I'm going to start with Ashley from Hawaii Public Radio.
Can you talk about what it means, what a 6-foot wave kind of means? Like, can you give some type of, I guess, like reference point for people?
We don't know until it hits.
So the question is asking, can we clarify and kind of give deeper details to what a 6-foot wave means?
I think that's a very important question to clarify. So when we describe this wave, it's probably more accurate to describe it
Did
as
she
having an
have to
amplitude
ask-
of 3 feet.
She has to, like,
above
narrate
the
this?
base. When the water pulls back from a tsunami, you have the base drop. That becomes the trough of a wave to a peak, which is higher. That full distance from peak to trough is 6 feet. This would be 3-foot wave riding across the top of the surf. I wanted to remind people, this is not just like a wave comes off the shore, a 3-foot wave smacks down on the beach. This is a longitudinal wave with great force driving through the shoreline and into land. That's why we ask people to evacuate very far back. People asked if there was a generic way to describe how far you have to get away from the shoreline. To be absolutely safe, it's at least 4,000 feet.
Damn!
The better part, that's 4/5 of a mile, basically. That's why these inundation zones, which you can see on the map, which show red, are not just a few feet off of the shoreline. It is, again, not just a 3-foot wave. It is a forceful wall of water that will move across the shoreline and into the community if we ultimately get hit by this tsunami. We will get extra information as we go. It was described to us that it is impossible to predict until we get closer exactly how large the wave. It could be significantly larger than that, and it also could be smaller. We're aware of that. A little bit of history, just so people know real quickly. In 1946, before we had alarms, on tragically April Fool's Day in 1946, the tsunami hit Hilo. It was started by an earthquake that was 8.6. This one is larger. It took 4.5 hours to hit Hawaii. That year, we lost 159 loved ones. It was the middle of the day. Another tsunami that came in 1960 that hit Hilo, also there, came from Chile. It was a 9.5 magnitude, which is an extraordinarily large earthquake. That was on May 22nd, 1960. Took out 500 homes. That caused a 35-foot wave. It happened at 1 a.m. in the morning, which is why we lost 61 loved ones that year. So we will not be out of the woods until we come past first the wave that strikes Kauai, and then we'll see where it inundates along the rest of the shoreline. Again, it will not just hit some parts of the island, it should probably spread around the islands. And so you can expect waves everywhere, provided that tsunami does hit as we expect.
Andrew, Honolulu Star Advertiser.
You answered a couple of questions I had already. What about...
She does have to narrate. That's trash.
At least Hawaiian Electric says they're coordinating with emergency
Yeah, they're gonna flip off our fucking power right before it hits us, weirdos.
Sometime before the expected arrival time of the
So the question is around public utilities and whether or not there will be a shut-off, electricity.
So we are in constant communication with HECO. Right now, the protocol is not for them to shut off, but we're in constant
Yeah.
comms with them that
The comb over
if we
Mohawk
see
guy.
it impacting
Diet
worse
Skrillex over here.
than what we anticipate, then we'll ask them to go into a shutdown. But we're having conversations with them.
Also, as it was described to me, we can't expect the wave to hit poles, and usually poles will go down. We expect significant debris. If we end up having a 3-foot or larger tsunami come through communities, there are going to be significant amounts
actually
of debris
nuts.
that can damage these
The
poles.
one in fucking Sri
They will be out in
Lanka,
force
or
immediately,
Sri Lanka was
once
only
they get the
about
all clear.
like
They will
15
also have to wait
feet.
for the all clear because we can't afford to lose anyone driving along
The
the
one that
roads. We
plowed
also
into
don't wanna send the wrong
1.2
message.
miles or something like
could
that.
be confused by seeing.
The one in
you know,
Japan was
anyone
not
other
even bigger than that.
General's team out there, you can expect everyone to stay off the road. But we will do search and rescue throughout.
Lei Ui, KITV4.
Le Ui.
You had my question about the electric grid. So my question is, what specific criteria moving forward, whether it be seismic activity, are you guys looking at to lower the threshold of the tsunami warning and going down?
So it's a request to describe sort of the criteria for how we move down from a warning
that's
moving
good.
forward. Mike,
The first part will be the actual progression of the waves. So at 6:50, which is about 17 minutes from now, we'll resume our next meeting. We're probably getting data almost as we speak from Wake Island and then the French frigate shoals. That was expected in this moment. So they'll be giving us some extra wave data. But that first wave will hit around 7:10, and it could take as long as 30 minutes for the waves, is my understanding, to hit other parts of the islands. So we'll be able to give kind of constant updates about where the waves are. As you can imagine, there are going to be people out there communicating on social media. Again, please just stay home. You know, let the waves ride out, let the energy dissipate, and then we'll be able to give people a full accounting of when the time is to stand down.
Again, I'll just reiterate, you know, we're going to leave it to the science. And the folks that are at the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center are well-versed and well-experienced in all of these types of activities. They're gathering data, like the governor said, from some of the other land masses that have, and the buoys and the deep ocean sensors. And we're going to rely on them to advise us. I don't anticipate it to be immediate as the waves first start hitting the parts of our state.
Dispatch, we were just talking about that, dog.
Several hours after that.
Homie's
to
haircut is
see
crazy.
That
All right, Cat, love you
amplification
too, dog.
And see it dissipate.
Yeah, I think we'd be safe.
But
I
rest
think we'd be all
assured
right.
that immediately upon learning that, we're going to put that information out through a variety of different media, to include the media that we have here today, so that people can try to get their lives and return to normalcy. Thank you.
I'll go to Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
When you talk about a 3-foot wave, how does that compare to the ones that caused the great damage in Hilo? And also, how certain are you about that measurement? Can people look at it and rely on that when they look at, say, a tsunami map? Is there any reason for people to go beyond what the tsunami maps tell them about where they should evacuate?
So lots packed into that question. So it's a question around describing that 3-foot wave, the impact in comparison to past
Bro, we were
history,
just
which I
talking
think
about
the
that. Like,
governor
who
shared.
looks in the mirror and is like, yo, dog, this haircut is smooth. Like,
Okay,
that
so
shit is
the comparative
crazy,
waves,
dude.
you know, the wave in 1960 when we had the giant earthquake off of Chile was
Fucking
gigantic.
crazy,
it
bro.
was a 35-foot wave. I mean, that was a total destruction wave. It came and wiped out houses completely. Right now, the first indication we had, the first
I don't know,
small
bro. I
crest
don't know
was
what's going
actually
on in
just 30
Hawaii, dog.
centimeters, about 1 foot, and then that was followed ultimately by 6 feet from peak to trough, okay? So that 30 centimeters, I believe, was the peak to trough of initial. Now we had a 6 foot. We continue to get data. It can come in like several kind of waves of water. It usually goes in cycles of about 20 minutes is how they are seeing these
20 minutes.
This forceful water come through. This is not, we pray, going to be anywhere near like that tragic tsunami in 1960. And we'll give updated measurements as soon as we hear specifically what the French frigate shoals show. That's going to be helpful. As we hear those data, we'll be able to push some of that out, perhaps on social media. We'll come back out again repeatedly.
The French
throughout.
frigid
But soon
shoal.
we're going to see the wave. In about
Who
3
lives out
minutes,
there?
everyone can expect the
there.
final siren, which is 6:40, and then we will hopefully see everyone out of harm's way, and we'll begin to
3
tell you
minutes.
how the waves actually
3
hit.
minutes. Last fucking alarm. I could have sworn the last one was
One
the last
final
one.
question from Daryl.
So given the size of this wave, what is the vulnerable infrastructure other than the electric grid?
So given the size of the wave, what is
Water,
the vulnerable
sewer,
infrastructure
everything.
besides the electric grid?
Why do you have to repeat what he
Couple
just
quick things,
said?
and then I'll have General come up. I mean, this is about 3 feet, okay? But a wave of water, that means it can move cars, it will throw fences around if it hits, it can dislodge trees. That's why you just can't be out there. The impact is at great speed. Any
500 miles an hour?
structure that gets loose and strikes an individual could take them out. And people can drown quite easily with the force of that kind of wave. So, again, people have to
Homie
really
with the crazy haircut was like,
distinguish
yeah, this guy's
the
an idiot.
waves we are accustomed to on the coast every day versus a tsunami. It's a different beast altogether. And of course, if it gets much larger, they do anticipate it could be larger. That's why they get multiple measurements. It's even more dangerous, even more forceful. Houses will be damaged. There will be debris all over the place if we do get a full tsunami.
What is a full fucking tsunami,
The federal
guy?
government classifies critical infrastructure.
Damn,
16
luggage boy's
separate
back.
Categories. About 13 are relevant.
Cousin, look at these eyes,
One
bro.
in particular is what we call transportation. It's
Get
broken
him
down
some
into
sleep.
either
Bro,
airport highways or
please
harbors.
get some sleep,
As
bro.
you know, all of our harbors
He
are
hasn't
at
had
sea
sleep in
level and are
40 years,
vulnerable.
cuz.
We don't know what those impacts are going to be, and we're constantly evaluating
What
those.
happens when you're a
'Cause not
two-star
just a
general,
tsunami
dog?
I
here,
know,
but a
right?
hurricane
Yeah,
can
for
have similar
real.
effects.
Fucking
Most of our
hammer
airports
time.
are also near sea level, except for some of the smaller ones. So,
How do you look at yourself in the
it's
mirror and be
good
like,
that we
yeah,
have
that's
the Department
perfectly
of
normal?
Transportation participatory in the update meetings that we're having, so they can anticipate what those
No,
impacts
work
might
did
be.
not. That's
And then we have
conviction.
plans in place to try to assist
No,
to get
work
those
did not
back
give you.
operational as quickly
Work
as
did not give you
possible.
the off.
The governor did talk about many of our road networks are near sea level in our coastal regions.
Put it this
and
way, if the
quite
job site
possibly
gets
either the road
trashed, we're
itself
probably going to have to go in
or all
tomorrow
the power lines
and
and
fix
all the
that
other
shit. You know
infrastructure
what I
that
mean?
goes along with it may be impacted
We
by
go fish shit
some
out of
type
the
wave
water,
or
I
tsunami
don't know.
system. So,
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole bunch
we're
of
careful
horse
about
shit
that. We
tomorrow.
don't have a compiled list.
Hopefully nothing
together yet.
happens, though, yeah?
But in just about every hazard that we have, it's incorporated into our
Cousin,
all
at
hazards
home,
plan.
brother.
And we're either going to be directly able to help assist in its recovery, or call
No,
in
zoom
additional
back in on
assets
his
as
eyes,
necessary.
bro. I don't give a fuck about this.
Expecting one moment
It's-
the next alarm, so
Holy
why don't we
shit.
actually pause now, and we'll come back to you in short order. We should have more data, but if we don't
Even
come back,
Josh
we just
Green
please
got that
everyone be
luggage
very
going on,
safe,
boy.
and we'll begin to report
I
on the
thought I
waves
was
as we
tired. These
get,
motherfucking
direct
tired.
observations kind of around, we still anticipate 30 minutes from now, around 7:10. Thank you for being safe.
How much Red Bulls a day do these guys take down?
And that was just really good information provided by the governor there
Like,
and
really?
officials about the first measurements that they got from Midway Atoll, the wave measuring 6 feet. But
There it is, the
across
last warning.
ocean, 3 feet, and they say that it doesn't sound as large. However,
Yep. Okay,
not
thank you.
mistaken,
Thank
because
you.
These are
Thank you.
tsunami waves different from a surf wave. They push inland and they also wrap around the island.
Yeah, and emergency officials repeated, several times that, it's impossible to predict. Whatever happens in one location is not an indicator of
is
what will
facts.
happen here in the islands, as we are about 30 minutes out from the first expected impacts
facts.
of the wave.
Right
as-
now we're hearing
Yep.
the
Everybody's
alarm,
getting
that is
it.
the final alarm that the state
Oh, they
is going
must
to
have
issue,
AT&T, bro.
signaling that
20
we are
minutes, bro.
just
T-minus 20.
30 minutes away from the
30,
estimated
30,
arrival of the
30.
first tsunami waves that will arrive in Hanalei on the Garden Isle,
Yep.
on the
Kauai.
island of Kauai.
And Governor Green also said that this will be the last siren.
This will be the last
So the 6:40 siren that just went off right now.
The last
we'll be
siren, ladies and
having more
gentlemen.
Updates from emergency officials. But in the meantime, we do want to go back to our first alert weather team, kind of breaking down what Governor Green was talking about, because this is really the first
I
time
hate
that
dealing
we've
with this
gotten some,
shit, man.
real data in regard to impact on this.
I really
So
should
let's
move
send
to
it
like
over
fucking
Ben
a
Gutierrez at the
landlocked
First
area.
Alert
I'll
Weather
move to
Center.
Wyoming or something like
Ben,
that.
how do we process and
Gotta
digest
deal with this shit no
what
more.
the governor just said in terms of measurements?
Well, he's been talking about trough to crest, and of course, that is at the buoy over at Midway Atoll, which is, I'm going to try and zoom out here, and it is actually right, if we didn't have, hang on here just a second, because we've been working on trying to get some of the data to you.
30 minutes.
We're looking at, hang on just a second, I'm just going to erase
I can't
the
believe how
satellite imagery.
tiny Midway
Honolulu
is.
there, you can see that, and then we're going to try
All of these
and
are Hawaiian
put,
Islands, by the way.
at least some kind of indicator as to where the Midway is approximately, I'll just put it right about here. Or
The
thereabouts.
past
I've
most
got
affected area,
two
everything's red.
that,
Like, what the fuck does that mean,
that
guy?
passes- Yeah. So let's see. Hang on just a second. We're just gonna try and zoom out a
Fuck.
little bit.
Just
There
so
we go.
can see the labels real quick. Again, Midway Atoll.
Oh my god, the
is,
news is falling apart. This is
off Long Island,
crazy.
process typically
This
where
doesn't
we
give me much
see,
hope.
Information from approaching tsunamis, and one of the reasons we
Oh, boy.
are a little bit concerned about this.
Look at
is
Nihao,
kind
dog.
of the way
All of it's red.
seafloor works here, in Hawaii. Unlike the continents, we
Damn.
don't have a continental shelf. Really, that's right offshore. You don't see very shallow water really quickly.
That's the problem.
Hawaiian Islands, of course, are formed volcanically.
That's the
and
problem.
they're essentially steep mountains in the ocean.
Oh, yeah,
there's
so
a
it just
very
goes
steep
way
drop-off
one
into
time.
the Pacific water.
It
And,
doesn't
if-
gradually.
Yeah.
we-
If you can come back to the Weather Center for just a second, because I think what we can do is
Dude,
show
the
you a
news
little
is
bit.
falling
So
apart,
here
man.
We have the map of the islands. And
What are
then,
they saying?
farther
Dog,
off
they're
to
just
the
all over the
northwestern
place with this
Hawaiian
shit, dog.
Islands is, Drew, if you can like zoom out, we're talking about Midway Atoll, which is one of these islands here.
Yeah.
And of course, the buoy there is the one that recorded the trough to crest of 6 feet. Now, again, what does that mean? It means that we do have at least
So
a
Bikini
column of
Atoll,
water
if you guys,
that may be
you
about
know, did
20
any
feet tall.
history,
That is in the
that's
open
where they
ocean
tested
because
that
it is
bomb.
Still pretty deep. Let's zoom back in on the Hawaiian Islands, and then we can show you a little bit.
It's
of
right down
what
the
we call
road, yeah?
Lithography, which is like
That's
the-
why I
the
have this third arm
opposite
coming
of
out my back.
Topography, which is what you see on
Yes,
that.
sir.
Bathymetry,
Yes, sir.
rather,
Third arm.
is what
Maybe
we
that's
have.
why we
So
speak like
if you look
fucking
at areas
retards,
like
huh?
Honolulu Bay, and we'll just go to a close-up. We can see, like right here at Honolulu Bay, it might be a little bit shallower over here, and so that means that the energy is going to start coming in a little bit higher. And we do have another press conference right now. Mayor Rick
Another press
Langiardi
conference
of
coming
Honolulu,
in.
is about to take the podium.
Take it away, Josh. Oh, Rick Bangiardi.
Have already gotten to safe places. And the fact is, I would encourage you to keep watching. We'll try to update you as much as we possibly can. One of the things that's developed, we brought our team here, and I want Chief Vanek is going to speak to you in a moment, is that at 6:30 tonight, we begin a contraflow to traffic to send everything Mocha. So any one-way streets.
Oh,
and
that's
Makai,
it. Everybody's
we
going to
get
the
on there
mountains.
and head Mocha. So if you know somebody who's stuck in traffic, and we know there's a lot of people still stuck in traffic, if you could place that call, I'll let Chief
Insane.
Roger Morton, I have Transportation Services, give you a little bit more detail, but we want to reverse that. We're trying to get everybody out of harm's way, okay? So again, if you're watching us now, you know somebody who's stuck in traffic.
This feels like from the
okay,
New
tell them
Jersey or something.
They've got to be very careful because we can't have the lights. I don't know how many
Like New
control
York or
officers
New
we have out
Jersey
there
or something
to
like
direct
that.
traffic.
He's not
Be
a Hawaiian
careful,
native.
but you can go out on a one-way street and head Mocha. So with that, I'd like to bring up Chief.
The show goes off in about 20 minutes. Oh my God! Look at this
First thing I'd
goober.
like to say is just to echo what the mayor said is make sure you're listening to the first responders if they're giving you directions. Definitely if they're telling you to evacuate.
Oh, interim
If they're giving you
HPD chief.
directions to drive in a
Interim
certain
HPD
direction,
chief, dog.
follow
Fuck,
their
look at this
directions.
goober. I don't believe him
The
at
next
all.
thing I'd like to ask and tell you is if you don't need to be on the road.
He is not safe, bro. Oh, for sure.
Location, like if it's your house, a friend's house.
I want to know what he did to
a
get
shelter,
there.
Or just somewhere
He
safe.
got 3 stars on his shoulders, 4 stars on his
Stay there
vest.
until it's safe. If you don't
Something
need
wrong
to
with
be
this
on the
guy.
road, be on the roads.
You get 5 stars
Stay
on
there
this
until you
guy.
get the all clear.
You got what?
And then finally,
That's
Yes,
oh,
five
yeah, he
stars.
does have 5. I just seen the other one peek up.
don't inundate.
See,
the
something wrong with this guy. Get him out of here. Get him out of my fucking face, yeah.
They're responding to emergencies, so if you don't need to call 911.
He's got
let
2
them know
pens.
It's an emergency.
Everyone knows you lose 1.
Stay off the 911
You lose 1 pen.
Our
He's got
officers
both of
will
them
be able to
bitches, dog.
respond to
Fuck
actual
no.
Emergencies and calls for 911. with that, let me turn it over to.
He's
Director
just probably the oldest guy in the fucking police, right? They just made, oh, you're the chief now. Oh my God, jump scare.
I know it's been a rough day on the highways today. The good news is it seems to be we're clear
Brother.
of it, but the word that
People are just not good looking in
2 p.m.
Hawaii,
we have
bro.
been
I
adjusting
hate
our
to break it to you.
lights to facilitate Malcolm Mackay.
No, the people in power are not good
And
looking.
we're continuing to do that. In addition, HPD has dispatched.
Technically you're not.
Getting their
I am
officers
safe,
to give
outlaw. I
directions
think
right
at
on the
least. We don't know. I don't know.
My
I don't know
message
nothing.
really is to, we're half an hour out from when we anticipate this
I don't know
wave
nothing,
to
dude.
hit.
Could be
If
fucking.
you're on an east-west
Could be a
coastal
stupid
highway,
wave. Could be a silly wave.
now
It could
is the
be.
time
It could be a lot of things. But
calculate, are you going to be
I'm not
on
gonna
high
sweat
ground?
it, bro.
And if you're not, if you have any doubts, you need to get up Malka side
Fuck 'em, cuz.
immediately, because that's where we're going to have a problem is on our coastal highways.
how is he wearing one his fucking face?
and other highways around the island. So
how is he wearing this on his
the
face?
message that we have
Bro,
is that police are-
that's
downtown
cold.
areas are facilitating travel up. It's
You're
been
talking
a
about
rough
his
day.
lower
I
shirt, I
it's
know.
a long time for people to
That's
get out.
just how they.
Now's
That's
the
how
time to get
politicians
to
dress in
high
a way.
Yes, sir.
I'm wearing. Oh my. Okay, he's the most normal looking guy.
Randall Collins with the Department of Emergency Management would like to reinforce inland and upward. Get to a safe zone. Get out
Turn
of the
around,
tsunami
don't
area
drown.
And get to a safe area. That is the #1 message. The second message is to stay informed. There is one place to get accurate information, and that is at hnlalert.gov.
That'd be so fucked up. That would be me though. Like once before this fucking get up, you're gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. I was like, oh shit.
Tsunami zone areas and where we have activated our tsunami assembly areas. You can sign up and stay informed.
Pretty
as
soon.
We continue to
Pretty
text
soon,
out
first wave
information
hits.
and message information through that application. So HNLalert.
I think they're gonna go over to Honolulu Bay, which is in Kauai. They're gonna show you guys the water's going out and what wave comes in.
Emergency that has opened up all the funding
And if
all
it's
the
shoo, I'm
resources
just going
and
to
all
sleep.
the,
I gotta work tomorrow.
decisions that
I
we
gotta
can
work
take,
tomorrow.
to make sure that we can keep people safe. And so with that, I will turn it over.
If it's
to
shoosh,
Dr.
yeah.
Brown.
Matt is voting on the shoosh. I think it'll be
Jim Ireland,
a
Department
little
of
substantial.
Emergency Services. EMS has
You look kinda normal, too.
Really busy afternoon and early evening. I want to thank all our paramedics, dispatchers, and EMTs for just all the hard work.
Yeah, my uncle's an
today.
EMT, dog.
We have an emergency plan for this type of scenario. We will stop potentially responding and may not be able to respond into the inundations zones as we
Fuck
get
is you
closer
talking
to
about?
predicted wave arrival, and that time has already passed. So for emergencies that are in the inundation zone or near the inundation zone, we may or may not be able to respond.
Damn!
45 minutes and potentially longer until we get the all clear. EMS has had a variety of calls today, just like any other day, but we've had, it seems like an excessive amounts of traffic accidents.
Right.
We had a critical accident up in Laie.
Honestly, I can't wait either. It's gonna be,
as well as Pearl
it's
City.
gonna be
So
crazy.
just wanted to echo what
If it is a crazy wave, there's like,
taking your time,
what
drive
the fuck?
safely, be careful, because we don't want to tie up ambulances and resources.
Okay, so like, this is the whole thing, right? If it's a fucking gnarly ass wave,
get to higher
go
ground
fish,
now.
cause well, not
So
right
we're
now.
really coming in really
The
close
water's
now
probably
to
be
the
receding right now, dog.
time. So as we get
I'm surprised they're
closer,
not showing it. Shut up! Get off the screen.
EMS may or may not be able to respond to a call in the inundation zone.
No, but
Core, which is
so
also
how
my
it works
department, has
is
been very busy.
once it hits
throughout,
Kauai, I got 20 minutes
been
until it
going
hits
to
us.
coastal areas
And then if it's a nuts wave, I'm probably gonna end stream.
and,
Whoop.
give notice of evacuations to our homeless
Oh, I
campers and
whoa,
populations in
that's
these
the
areas.
premium
They
shellfish
haven't
right there,
hit everywhere
dog.
on the island, but they've tried to hit the busiest and most populous
What's up, that?
for the homeless.
Yo,
So
I
again,
imagine you
busy,
heard, yeah.
Afternoon and potentially evening for EMS. We have called in extra resources. Our ambulance bus is staffed.
I think we'll be all right.
That later.
I think we'll be all right.
We'll be standing by with everybody else to see what
We're gonna see the
exactly
first wave in about 20 minutes.
this event will
They're
bring.
probably gonna cut this thing off and then head over to the kind Kunia Beach.
Accurate information can save lives, okay? So, as I've said repeatedly throughout the breaks today, you know, watching your television stations, stay in tune as long as we have power. Please do that. Provide good information. What Randy said about HNL.
We lose power, that's on you guys. Yeah, that's not on me.
Correct information. So I want to caution everybody, because I've already seen some social media stuff out there.
Volcanoes
We're
and
talking about a
tsunamis. Who
sickle
thought it
sense
would
right now,
be
but we
such a
really
great? I
do
know,
not.
right? Right?
But we know one thing for certain.
Can't they
If it
like
hits,
send a heli to
okay,
record it
it
from
can affect
origin?
lives.
No,
It's strong enough.
the helicopter doesn't
potential
move
there.
fast enough.
We want you to be accurately informed. As you
It
can see from what you heard in the state report,
it travels at
and our city
500 to
report,
700
we're doing
miles per
everything we
hour. It
possibly
all
can
depends.
to help you. So please,
You need like a
stick
fucking
with the
jet
accurate information. Don't be deceived
following that
by
bitch,
all kinds of
which
stuff.
is
Look to the
insane to think
sources
about.
here, and I promise you, we'll continue to update you, not just after the wave hits, or if in fact it actually hits, or what happens throughout the night. Because just so you know, I've been through this before.
Oh,
the wave is expected to
okay.
be here 7:10 in Kauai. A few minutes after that, on the island of Oahu. But we might not get an all clear till for hours, because that's how these perform. March 11, 2011, that's exactly what happened. We were due at 3:17 in the morning,
Yeah.
and at midway, it was a 6-foot wave. It was a 6-foot wave traveling 550 miles an hour, and we were not looking at a good situation. Tonight, they didn't talk about the speed, except we were being told by the civil defense people that this is going to be really bad. Okay, that was
What?
then.
You wait until fucking almost it hits.
Came in, they receded back out, they went back in. They did it 4 or 5 times, and they kept telling us the next one could be big. We did not get an all clear for a wave.
Rick, you stupid bitch.
Until 11 a.m. the next morning. So we don't know what kind of an evening we're in for, but you want to pay attention. You want accurate information. This could save your life. I promise you, all of us will do everything we possibly can to help everybody out there, but you also have to help us too. So pay attention to that. And one last time, okay? If you're anywhere near the
Right.
water, get out of there. Get to high ground, okay?
You heard what Rick just said.
Any questions?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
No destruction.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did he say?
Rick Mangiardi said, like, oh, the defense people said this is going to be bad. I was like,
think
what
that
the
they wanna
fuck?
get
Out of
HMO,
nowhere
we'll
you
be
say
talking to
this?
people like that, if all they have is cell phones, assuming they're not watching.
Like, bro, how fucking cooked are you in the head, bro? That's fucking stupid.
Or to any of the station's websites, but stick with accurate information, and we'll keep you folks advised too as to what people should do.
You can tell he's from, like, New
You know,
York
in
or
this
something like that.
situation,
He's
we
trying to
cannot
bully us.
over-communicate.
Hey, yo, stick
We
with
all know
accurate
that. We try to
information,
do that as
bitch. Like,
reliable
what the fuck?
and as a
Hey, yo, I'm fucking walking here.
detailed way as we
Walking
possibly
here.
can. So I know last time, because people did the same exact thing, and that's what we've been encouraging. People didn't come down from the mountain until after sunrise.
Facts.
A lot of people stayed up there. You want to stay until you get told that it's safe to come down. That's what I would tell people. Wait until you find out it's safe to come down, because as I said earlier, that last time on March 11th, if you remember, that tsunami was in Japan. It was the most televised tsunami ever, because it was
Bro.
daytime, cameras everywhere, and it was almost
Daiichi
surreal
Fukushima
watching what
went
was going
down
on.
that day,
And so,
dog.
while
That tsunami was
choose
so
not to think
bad.
about the worst happening at this
Yeah.
point in time. In this
Dog,
time,
that tsunami
we
was
wanna
so
be
bad.
as conservative as we possibly can in the spirit of saving
Turn
people's
around, don't
lives.
drown,
So
cuz.
information is very, very important. Okay, we don't know what we're dealing with right now. Within minutes, we probably will, and we'll go from there, and we'll keep you posted.
15 minutes out.
If you're in a safe place, stay there. until
No,
somebody
the
tells you
tsunami
to leave.
itself was bad, bro.
Yes, ma'am.
The reactor made it worse.
Well, we're gonna have to see what the extent of it is. I think we've.
The
got
tsunami
everybody
was
out there,
ridiculous.
HPD,
It's
our
like
fire
4 miles
department, our
inland.
First responders, EMS, Jim is here. We're gonna be on
All
full
black
alert.
water,
We're gonna
too,
try to
like,
do
oh
everything
my
we possibly
God.
can. And you heard the governor say the same thing with all services here. We're all in this together in a moment like this.
Hey,
We
yo,
will do
Rick,
everything
chill,
we
bro.
have
Chill, bro.
available
I'll pay you the
resources
money later, bro.
to
Damn.
respond the way people would hope we would
On a
respond.
mission,
That's
huh?
the best
Yeah,
I can
bro.
tell you.
Homie's selling it right now.
We're trying to prepare for
Do the
worst,
best I
but
can
we're
for
hoping
you.
For the best.
Carlito. Do the best I can. My name is Rick Blangiardi.
Yeah,
Do the
bring
best
up
I
your
can.
mind as far as the tools. Okay, thank you.
Well, from our
Yeah,
standpoint in
no.
EMS, we have ambulances, ground ambulances, SUVs. So those are our tools. But I think in the earlier
Nah, dude.
press conference from the governor, he talked about his air assets and the National Guard being on standby.
Glasses off. He does normally wear glasses, right?
So when we are in a rescue
boy.
situation, we have
This is about to be an absolute shit show, or we're gonna laugh at this, guys.
agencies here and across the country, whether it's National Guard, Coast
Sort
Guard,
of.
or the fire department,
Sort of
be
that.
able to do
Sort of
rescues
that.
where
To be honest,
ground
sort of.
vehicles,
Sort of.
can't get in.
I live in a building, but
So
it's pretty close to the
besides
water.
What we we have available to respond on the ground, there are those air assets for those other agencies, not ours.
Yeah, and I would like to add, I spoke to
Hey, yo, Rick, I told you I'll get you the money over here.
Assets out in the ocean that are hitting around all the coastlines, and they're also going to be readily available, which is a great resource as well to complement our other resources. Anybody else, guys? Anybody here? Anything else you want to add?
It's Ricky Blangiardi. Yeah, Nat, I couldn't call it, dog. We don't know until the actual first wave hits, which is in about 10 to 15 minutes. They need to cut to fucking Honolulu Bay. That's what they need to do. Look at this goober!
You know, our officers are dedicated.
Dedicated to
they're
what?
Put themselves in
Corruption?
They do every single day. But I'm going to tell you right now, if there's a 6-foot wave coming at 500 feet per second or whatever it is.
Face, bro.
Bro, his face, his whole demeanor.
They don't go rushing into that. But what I will say is that our officers are highly dedicated.
I don't like it.
As a matter of fact, we've kept back all of our daytime officers. We called in our nighttime officers early. They're not actually even supposed to start until 9 o'clock, but all of them came in early.
He looks like the guy from the last time I had McDonald's.
Working right now.
Probably very correct.
And that just goes to show their commitment. I have full pride.
I'm
that they're
committed
all in working
to you getting off of my fucking screen. Yeah, thank you.
support.
Show Honolulu Bay!
We'll do what we need to do to make sure that we keep the public safe.
It's a very tiny mouth for a fat man, yeah?
That, we're there for you to keep the public safe. And if you need us, we'll be there. We'll
Okay,
answer
can I use the bathroom for the last time if this fucking, if everything goes south? Like, is that cool? I don't want to be stopped up, yeah.
Yes, just
Ow!
update on some of the highways, some of our highway routes.
Jump scare, dog. This guy is creepy, dog. I need to find his name.
Waimea Street.
Waimea.
Road at North Road. No Malcolm Mackay bound.
Sonar dude is back, dog. Get to know Hawaii politics.
No Mackay ocean-bound traffic.
He looks like Nosferatu. That's crazy. You're totally
Be
correct.
on the lookout. There could be other closures that occur as the officers in the field deem necessary.
Does he not have teeth?
But those are three
Yeah,
that we know.
I don't
of
know. I
that,
haven't seen his teeth yet, bro.
advising the public.
He's hiding his fangs, dog. Holy shit, Dispatch, you're correct. Damn, Blangiardi.
Thank you and all the media outlets.
I
for
got a
staying
question. You
on
gonna pay me the money or not?
and continuing to
Like,
broadcast
dog.
here, and let's just all hope for the best, okay?
Look at his eyes, bro. He killed a few people. I promise. I promise he did. I swear to
I like
God.
this guy, bro.
Bro, Blangiardi? He's a bitch.
Yeah.
Stay away from social media. No false information. Deal with accuracy. It can make all the difference.
He scares babies as a hobby. This is crazy, dog. We got a fucking tsunami coming in. Already?
And now this is a live look
Honolulu
at
Bay?
Honolulu, where the first arrived waves are
Here it
expected
is.
to arrive, at 7:10. That is less than 12 minutes out.
Yeah, we're giving you a live look at Honolulu Bay right now, which is the first site of any sort of anticipated activity. You just heard from Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi saying that, even after that we hit that time, we could be in for a long night until that all clear is given. You also heard the emphasized message from emergency officials. You should not be on the roads right now. You should not be in low-lying areas, and do not
Here it is,
flood
guys.
the
That's what we were waiting for.
emergency call system. At
past
this point, you
2
should
hours.
be at a place where you're
Right back.
safe. You're at an evacuation site. You're at a tsunami assembly area as we kind of wait through and see what this 8.8 magnitude earthquake that originated from Russia earlier this afternoon, 1:30 Hawaii time, what that brings. So again, a live look at Kauai right now. We want to go back to Ben Gutierrez and Drew Davis for their explanation on what we could expect. This is coming off of what we heard from Governor Green getting the first initial readings from the buoy at Midway Atoll. While they do say it's impossible to predict what could be happening here in Hawaii, what you do see at Midway was very newsworthy. What can you tell us, Ben and Drew?
All right, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Steph. Of course, at this time, we're less than 10 minutes out from the potential arrival of the tsunami in Kauai and up near Honolulu. Again, just one last quick look. Of course, we're watching it was a 3-foot wave on top of the ocean reported at Midway Atoll. And of course, the waters get very shallow very quick right off of the Hawaiian Islands. Of course, we don't have a continental shelf around us like the continents do, where they have a large area of shallow water and then just a strict.
Hey, why'd they go away from Honolulu Bay? What the fuck?
It gets very shallow very quickly. We're mountains building up underwater. One last quick look at the Kauai.
Shut up! Turn this shit
You
on!
can see this behind us. Again, less than 10 minutes away. That's when we're expecting to see the tsunami. It might not be exactly at 7:10, but that's the best prediction right now for the arrival of this tsunami. Just taking a quick look.
Game time, we gotta lock in, yeah, we gotta lock in right now.
Zone, at least all of the coastlines. And the reasoning for that is because of all the Mauka areas, the mountains, it pushes right up against the coastline. You don't have very many areas that are highlighted in yellow right here. That indicates the extreme tsunami evacuation zone. And that's for the worst tsunami possible, the worst possible modeled tsunami. We don't expect that that's going to be the case with this one. But again, we have to take precautions across the entire island. Again, less than 10 minutes out. Ben, what can you tell us about...
Shut up and go to Honolulu Bay again. Come on.
We're watching the Honolulu live cam very closely. We've just taken a look out there. What can you tell us?
Well, basically, when you look at the tsunami evacuation,
What we're going to see is waters
obviously
recede,
places like
the wave come
Honolulu
in.
and also
We're going to see
West
how big,
Kauai, where you're looking
how crazy.
at that area. There's a very,
I don't
very
need
big
them to
rush.
show
And
it
then
if
when
they
you
don't.
look at
There's
East
nothing to
Kauai
see.
right now, basically,
Shut up, man.
Kapa'a,
About to
all
disconnect
the way
you.
down to Wailua, even down to Hanamaulu. That area
Oh,
there,
nothing's
there
gonna
are some
happen, dog.
points where it is
It's
pretty
so
shallow, where
easy.
it is
It's
pretty
so
shallow
easy.
as far as the landmass,
It's so
but
easy
at
to
the
say
same
shit in
time,
your high
even
castle
Honolulu,
of
even
Vegas.
Honolulu,
Yeah, you
as,
done.
you can see that the tsunami evacuation map is a little bit deeper. It goes further inland. And one point I want
Earth
to make
is
up
mourning
we've
for
been talking
Ozzy
about
and the
a
Hulk
wave.
Hogan.
We could be talking
That's
several
funny.
waves because that would be the
Prince of Darkness.
the first wave, and so tsunamis generally
did his
don't-
final
you don't
act-
just
his
have
final
one.
trick
You're
on
gonna
us,
have
right?
a bunch of them. So there is that possibility where we will see waves possibly for several hours. And you can definitely see as we take a closer look at the island of Kauai evacuation.
Yeah, I don't
maps,
think much is
you
going to
can
happen.
definitely see
The last
that
time
Honolulu
was
up
a
at the
bigger
top and
earthquake,
also
and
West
you
Kauai,
see the waters
there's
recede
a
and shit
very
like that,
large
but
area that goes inland,
a crazy wave
and
never came
also
in.
on west, or make that east Kauai.
It all started
places
bouncing around and shit like that,
Wailua,
but-
also the Kapa'a area, Anahola, Hanamaulu.
The last time was
those
Chile, now it's from
areas
Russia's
are
side, so-
also within that evacuation zone. Kauai also
Pulling a
is
Kratos
older
move.
geographically or geologically rather, and so that means there are
Of the
larger
cherry-
rivers.
of the
And
cherry-
so that also
of the
means
cherry ice
that
cream,
you should
Lan?
stay away from any of the
Lan, I'm in a
waterways that go
fucking
inland.
tsunami right now,
Wailua
dog.
River, for
I got
example,
time to
is
look at
one.
cherry ice cream.
Na'Bilibili Harbor is another where you're going to have some of that energy from the tsunami going further inland because of the fact that it is a wider waterway, and then that will be able to go in. A couple of years ago, we had a smaller tsunami. and
Show
we had
the damn-
videos of that
show
actually
the
going
damn
up
live
the
stream.
canal, Kawainui Stream, I believe it is.
Even
up
this
in
guy's like, yo,
Kailua,
stop
where
talking.
You could see the tsunami wave. It was only about yay high, but you could definitely see something rolling in on the river, headed toward Enchanted Lake. Now, you'll see something on the surface, but at the same time, remember, it goes all the way down to the
Blue
bottom
Bunny
of
was
the
the brand,
ocean.
right? Yeah,
So
there you go.
even if the wave
Dispatch,
isn't
in
that
case you were
big,
wondering,
there's
Blue
going to be
Bunny.
strong currents. That's the reason why the Coast Guard has ordered evacuations of the harbors, because boats could be pushed around
Cherry
by
ice
these,
cream.
by these currents and could be pushed into piers, could be pulled away from their moorings, could get loose. We saw that in 2011.
I don't have Discord on
we
this
saw
PC.
boats hitting each other, causing major damage to vessels, also causing major
think I can
damage
save it,
to
though.
harbor infrastructure, and that's why
Oh,
we're
it's
seeing
cherry
all of
chocolate
those
chunk, though. Oh, you mean, oh, okay.
And we're
Well, I don't remember anything happening in 2011. They keep saying.
Yeah, no, they
Stuff
had like,
happening in our
yeah, no, they had like a
This is the
1 foot
time
wave
where we're watching
come
for
in
potential
on like
water
all the
receding. Again, if
all
you're
the
moving
rivers and
east, of course,
shit.
go
It wasn't
away.
nothing
Do not
crazy.
Stay there to watch the tsunami.
But no, the waters
Definitely
did go
slow
out, which
down.
is kind of nuts to
And we're
watch.
We're no
But
stranger to the power of water here in Hawaii.
Yeah,
the
just
rivers
the-
point.
the
that's a
waters
great
came
point.
back
All of
in
that
and then-
water, that energy rushing in, it's going to impact the entire.
Yeah, this thing will
island,
be shit, guys.
Potentially, when it comes to those rushing waters, rushing up the rivers, and of course the coastlines, of course, will be the most impacted. That's it for Ben and I here in the Weather Center. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Robbins.
Never mind!
Thank you so much. Very good information, gentlemen.
Fucking never
We're gonna be
mind.
seeing a lot of action within the next hour.
Go to the
And
damn
first,
fucking
beginning with
live
that
cams,
receding
dog.
water and
This is
then
not how you
the
run a news
receding
company.
So the initial readings that they were talking about in the press conference, 3 feet, lots of forward motion we're talking about.
Oh
It's
my
almost like
God.
a freight train racing across the ocean, initially at speeds of 500 and 550 miles per
Damn.
hour. Once it meets the shallow waters, that's when it slows down to speeds of about 30 miles per hour.
Not the
Usually I
truck,
use this
yeah.
graphic when we talk
Bro, that
about
was so
water
lame,
flow.
guy.
But
That was
this
so
shows you
lame.
the power of water and how incredibly powerful water can be and pick up people, just sweep them right off their feet. 1 foot can pick up cars. 2 feet can move SUVs
Oh, why
and
they
heavy
gotta choose a
trucks.
Dodge
The power
Ram?
of
That's
water,
jacked up.
especially along
Right.
those rivers and everything.
Should have
that
been a
can
lift
be
to Tacoma, to be
along
honest.
The mountain
Yeah, it
base
should have
is
been.
going to be a big concern, even if it is at 3 feet. So I just wanted to take a close look at the past most affected areas. This is going to be a lot of wraparound
Bro, we got like
energy.
3
That's
minutes
why
for
we
these
have
bitches.
the
This is
tsunami warning for
what's gonna
all
happen,
of
Steve.
the
I'm
islands.
calling it now.
So
What?
it doesn't mean we're
Nothing's
gonna
gonna
be clear
happen,
for
and
one
then they're gonna
island or the
continue
other.
to keep
But
talking
Hilo
about it.
does
Just
have
because
a
nothing's
history
happened doesn't
getting
mean
hit
it's not
hard
still gonna
with
come.
tsunamis.
I mean, probably, bro.
And then 30 minutes later, still same
2011.
thing.
It's known as
Hold
the
up, though.
We
hot
noticed
spot for
two waves
tsunamis
No, but- no,
due
but-
to
no, but- no, but this is the thing, though,
shape.
Matt.
It's incredible of how shallow
One
the
day it
waters
might
are.
happen,
And
and
because
it's gonna
of
be
the
fucked
shape
up
of
when
the
it
bay
does. You know what I
itself,
mean? Like,
it
I
actually
feel like you're gonna
has
know.
some of those waves get
You know
no,
what I
but
mean?
like,
bigger
bro, the
along
ancient
Hilo's
Hawaiians
side.
been talking about
Also,
fucking
Kona has
dumbass
suffered
tidal
damage
waves.
in 1975 and 2011. We have
I'm praying for you, Steve.
damage,
They've
of
been this
course, other
bitch. They've been this
tsunamis
bitch for
across the
2,000
western end of the
years. You know what I
state,
mean?
particularly
Like,
over on Kauai, on Oahu, the north
Yeah, but
and
all I'm
east
saying
shores,
is
you can see some
you
run up
would,
depending
with the
on the wave
technology we have,
direction. And
you
that's
would
key,
know.
and that's one component we really
we
don't
don't,
know.
dude. Mother
Like
Nature
Ben
is fucking
and,
everything, dog. Come
Drew,
on,
we're
stop it.
talking about, there's a lot of information
Here you
that's
go.
missing
It's the
over
best buy
open
right now.
waters with the lack of buoy data that's over the open
Statistics
water.
are
So the wave direction
statistics,
is a big player of what kind of
Nature
wave
is
will be
gonna-
coming our
okay,
way
cool.
with these tsunamis. So we are coming close.
Bro,
It's 7:07
can-
right now.
what happened to the
Initial
bay, bro?
readings will likely be seeing that receding water at
Can you
first
go back
over
to
on
Hanalei
Kauai,
Bay?
and then anywhere from 0.1 to 0.3 a
This girl
possibility.
and her freaking
And
hand
then that
motions,
energy, like
I
we're talking
know.
about racing across the entire ocean
She's
at
doing
speeds of
way too
550 miles per hour, that energy is going to get caught up. And so we could see the biggest
She's doing
of
so
the
much right
tsunami
now. Like, I don't
surges
need this.
come in
Go
during
to the
8
live
o'clock
feed.
hour. And then it's going to be highly unpredictable throughout the
The
night.
wave is 10
especially
feet,
with
right?
those
Begging
strong
you.
currents, and that's why
I know, right? Oh, well, we
evacuation
just missed the
zones,
wave.
we
Like,
must
bitch,
just
are you
heed,
fucking
to
kidding
all
me?
of those warnings, especially
I don't
along
want
the
a history
coastlines, along
lesson.
the rivers,
I want to see
and
some
along
waves.
anywhere there is water.
You're telling me it was
I know it's your
safe or
job,
not?
but
Readings for
damn.
tonight, so 3 to 4 meters, that translates to 10 to 13 feet was observed along the Russian coast. We did see in Japan about 1
Hawaii's
to 3
cooked
feet.
if
It was
tsunami
up
is
to
actually
3
real.
meters was the forecast.
Nah,
Over in Hawaii,
we're good.
initially we're
Somewhere from
forecasting
3 to
1
10 feet.
3. With that Johnson Atoll,
Oh,
being
that's
at
it? Well,
3
that's not
feet,
bad.
we could see that energy coming
You don't know
away
waves
around
then.
that marker.
Get outta
It
here,
could
damn
be
it.
even
Well-
higher, like we're talking
well,
about
I'm from New
Hilo
England.
and the shape of the
Shush.
bay that could pile up water even more. So that's a big concern after the 7 o'clock hour. And Guam,
I know
anywhere
somewhat
from 1 to
of
3
waves.
meters, which translates to 3 to 10 feet. So historically speaking, we've seen
Aha!
a number of tsunamis
That's
like
right.
we've been
Oh,
talking
we don't know
about
yet. We don't know
throughout
yet,
the evening.
Roblox. It's about to hit.
Over
It's supposed to-
160
supposed to hit
since
soon.
1812, the origin, Alaska, Chile, Japan, and Russia. And it can cause a huge surge
Who
of
was
energy
that?
traveling across the ocean.
one
And
of
like
the-
we're talking
one
about
of the
this evening,
chat
the power
thing.
of water is incredible. And you can see the history is there. Tells a big story with 1960 magnitude 9.5.
Not a single wave showing you,
arrived
yeah.
15 hours later,
It's
up
still
to
nothing,
35
dog.
feet. In 2010,
fuck.
magnitude 8.1 or 8.8, we did
You know
see
why?
3
Because
feet.
there's nothing
so the
to show. That's
direction
why they
of the
haven't showed
wave
it yet.
does play a big role in that. And then Japan quake at 9.1.
Talk
6 to
about getting
7
the blood
feet
pressure
with the
high
energy.
and then just
So
nothing that
watching
happens.
the buoy readings very carefully, and the latest information information, let's send it back to Mark.
Oh, look at this soul,
Yeah,
dude.
thank you very
How
much.
much sun
Jen.
heaven on earth, guys?
We are now
Come on.
at 7:10, which is exactly when.
Oh, there's the wave.
Tsunami warning
It's coming in.
center
No, I'm just playing.
predicted
I'm
that
joking.
we would
I'm joking. I don't
see
want to
the
joke
first
too crazy.
arrival of the tsunami waves generated by that powerful earthquake in Russia. And as we're looking here, Drew and Ben, what are you noticing?
Way off in the distance. We're talking about way off in the distance there, right around the middle of your screen, right at that point. It looks like there's something happening there as far as like ocean activity. See some whitecaps that are slowly spreading across the bay. We haven't seen something that often occurs with tsunamis, and that is the pullout of the water. Usually there'll be an area or places like Hanalei, the water will recede a lot, and then the tsunami will come back in. But I'm not sure exactly if that way off in the distance there is actually something at the moment. On the right side of your screen, right where the sunbeam is, there's a little bit of current activity. So you can see there are some currents that are occurring as some of the water starts to flow out. But as far as
they're reaching, dog.
Drew and I have been looking at this, and we just see something that appeared off in the distance right at the
it's not that
edge
crazy
of that
though.
point, where you can see some what looks like whitecaps. I don't know if that could be like something that is basically artifacts off the camera or whatnot. But one thing I'm also looking at very closely is the actual water line, the shoreline there. Not seeing anything. And again, 7:10
Artifacts
was
on the
estimated
camera,
time
dog.
of arrival.
I'm done.
So that's, again, as it indicates, it's an estimate. It can be faster, it can be longer. It just kind of depends on what this had to travel through, and also the kind of earthquake that it was.
Matt, how would you feel if a
Because then it
fucking
depends on how quickly it
200-foot
was pushed
wave just
over.
fucking
But
totally
no doubt,
washed
it
out
does
the
travel
sun
very quickly
and just
in
fucking
the ocean.
demolish Kauai? And you talking all that
there's
shit. How would you
nothing
feel,
there
though?
to basically hold it back. So we're looking again
Dog,
speed of a
I
jetliner.
wouldn't, if I
But
thought
at
that was
the
going to happen, I
moment,
wouldn't be
that
talking shit.
area of white really hasn't moved an awful lot.
I'm just
so,
asking.
We're not quite sure.
I would feel bad,
exactly
but it's
what
not gonna happen.
is
I don't
going to
have
be
to worry
happening
about
if the tsunami, the first wave, is going to be
Anytime
late. But again,
tsunami must
you
be
can see
fucking
some streaks
dumb to
on
even
the
deal with,
ocean.
like, what the
Those
fuck?
are like rip currents that have developed.
Those are the rip
and
currents.
And definitely the
You see these rip
tsunami
currents
is
right here,
going to
guys?
be playing into
You
strong
see these
currents.
little
We're
streaks
watching
on the water?
Water at least start to.
They start from
move
the
in a little bit,
shore,
like you said,
and
over
this is
near
like the most dangerous
sunbeam
thing that you
reflecting off of
encounter in the
water
state of
there. You
Hawaii.
can see the direction of the water flowing into the bay.
I know,
Again,
right?
It was 7:10. This is the best prediction for the arrival of the wave. Much like weather models, it's very hard to simulate the entirety of the ocean. So that was the best prediction given by the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center. And again, we're going to keep watching this. If it is delayed out here for Kauai, that also means that it will be delayed as we're going further down the island chain. Again, it does seem like we are seeing some waves moving in. It's
That's a trickle.
Very active scene where we're trying to watch exactly what's happening.
That's right, and taking us back now to 2011, Ben, I don't know if you remember, but the 9.1 magnitude
There you go, there you go.
Japan, it was a very powerful
Freddy's
earthquake,
play
and
isn't turned
that
into
sent
Atlantis.
us a tsunami wave as well.
You know
And
that game
you
doesn't
could
work well with my
definitely, when you
PC.
do
I don't
see
even know why.
on
Like,
camera, you can definitely
I really don't
tell
know why.
that is the tsunami wave. You talk about the receding of the water, and I remember vividly watching Hilo Bay, and you will definitely see that big difference there. As far as right now, though, again, we are just monitoring and looking at the shoreline for any changes there. And
Side
again,
ones aren't
once again,
necessary. No, but I
off
think
in
like the
distance,
very first one doesn't
that
work.
sunbeam that you were pointing to, you're also noticing some subtle differences and changes in the water there. No major recession of the water yet, which is a telltale sign that the tsunami wave has arrived.
Sunset is expected at 7:12, so we've still got some daylight. We're just past that. And thank goodness that we still have that light out there to really give us a clearer sense of what is happening. We're going to be staying on this cam at Hanalei right now. This is a live stream overlooking Hanalei Bay with the expected arrival of the first activity of the tsunami generated by the 8.8 quake. We're looking at this. Our first
I feel like they're doing shit on
monitoring
purpose.
this shot very closely.
What?
Literally,
Just
an
like get
unfolding
everybody's blood pressure
situation as
extremely
we're watching
high
the water and kind of paying
for
close
no
attention
reason.
to what we're seeing here with the conditions.
And again, the water here has to wrap around since Hanalei Bay is on the northern portions of the island. It's coming from the west.
Saved
and
it from the
northwest,
tsunami.
Russia's off to the northwest of the island chain. We've been showing that map of just completely open water. So we have to see a little bit of a wraparound.
Which is
First
crazy
it
because
hits
I'm
the
sure they
Nepali coast,
exist
and then
quite a
starts
bit
to move into
away.
Hanalei Bay, move down the western and leeward coast of Kauai. So we are going to continue to see how this evolves.
And Drew and Ben, talk about the impact of, I know this this earthquake, 8.8 earthquake. Off
Yo,
the
how is
eastern coast
everybody
of
in Russia? I'm just wondering.
Had
Yeah.
depth of 46 miles down. Now, talk about how that plays a role in the strength and power of wave.
Well, usually the deeper an earthquake is centered, the less likely it will cause an earthquake. It will cause a tsunami, rather. However, it kind of depends on the type of earthquake.
It's a
Drew
distraction from the
explained
Epstein
earlier,
files,
if it's
maybe.
A slip, not too bad. If it is a thrust,
Oh, Epstein
earthquake
must have
that
been a
goes
real
straight up,
piece
and
of
that pushes
shit,
the whole
'cause
column of water up.
for them
That's,
to,
one of the
you know,
things that we were
scare the
seeing
whole world
in
with a
the Thailand
tsunami.
earthquake, the devastating, I believe, was 2006. Earthquake.
Oh, yo.
I
You guys might
have to check on the
actually
date there,
see the
but
green
one
flash
that
tonight.
devastated so many places like Indonesia. And,
But no way.
on
Dog,
Christmas
wouldn't it be
Eve of that
crazy,
year.
Matt?
Right now,
Have you ever
currently
seen it?
Not really showing anything,
Of
but
course.
then again,
Yeah.
710 was an estimated arrival. There was a wave that was recorded, according to Haima officials, at the buoy at Midway Atoll. So depending on how things are going, we could be seeing a delayed arrival, but then again,
Delayed
remember,
arrival.
And it
it's
just
not
hit
just the first one.
Of something
which is
traveling
when
at
we were
500 something
expecting
miles
the
an hour.
First waves to arrive on Oahu. If we can now switch over to, this is a live look at Honolulu Harbor, where earlier we were also monitoring quite a few
That's where I live.
reports that
That's where I live.
boaters, a number of them, and fishing boats were heeding the warning, and we also saw them head out to sea, staying away from the channels, going in water at a depth of 300 feet or greater. And you can see it looks like the harbor is all clear.
Yeah, the
even,
harbor is clear.
the Coast Guard
So,
cutter
guys, I work
also
right about
on
over
that
there.
harbor
Right about
now.
over there.
As we take a look
Give or take. Over there. Somewhere
at
over there.
Honolulu Harbor, 717, again, the estimated arrival of the first waves here at Oahu.
Yeah, and the ability for these vessels to evacuate is one of the
guaranteed.
silver linings of an event like this, because you had a 6-hour notice, for the boaters to head out to the open ocean, for residents and visitors to head to
I'll be
different
honest, bro. I
evacuation
think
sites right
they're
now.
shooting
So we're
themselves in
keeping
the
a
foot
very
this time.
close eye, live look at Honolulu Harbor. It's
Oh,
7:18
keep it real, thank
right
God.
now.
Keep
8
it
minutes
real,
after
thank
the
God.
first wave was
Yeah, but 10 years from
expected.
now, when another one comes, ain't no one gonna believe.
No
so
one's
to
gonna
speak,
believe.
something like
Already
this.
been
The first
nobody
area
believes
of
from
Already nobody
2011.
believes.
Hanalei
Yeah.
Bay
This is double,
on
dog.
Hawaii. We still have some
So the
daylight
next
out
one's
right
gonna
now,
hit extra
to keep
hard,
a
and
close
everybody's
eye
gonna
on
be like,
this. Now,
"Fuck! Really?"
Drew, Ben, and Jen as well. As we're looking at these images here, what should our viewers be paying attention to in regards to the water movement and activity?
Sorry, before you guys answer, can we switch over now to this live look at Waikiki, where we might be able to detect more changes in the
Ladies
water
and gentlemen,
here. You can definitely
the
see
legendary
view
Waikiki
of coastline
Beach.
and
Waikiki
definitely
Beach.
empty there. Earlier shots, right, Mark, when you guys began the
Look, there's
conference
still
right after
people
the
out there.
tsunami warning, the beaches were crowded. You can see that is not the case.
Bullshit,
right
there's still
now.
people
We
out there.
heeded the warning. Mayor Rick
The
Van Buren said, if
legendary
you're anywhere
Waikiki
near
Beach,
the
yeah?
coastline, get out.
And I think it's important to note just generally the ocean conditions right now.
They don't
We do
care.
have a small craft advisory. We have strong
No one
trade
cares.
winds. We also have a rising swell on south-facing shores and east-facing shores. We're seeing wave heights expected today at 3 to 5. This is wave heights alone, waves that you surf, not the tsunami itself. East-facing shores at 2 to 4. So you could kind of see in some of these shots, there does seem to be some disruption.
There's still some
rip
less
currents that are happening,
melanated people out there, of
strong currents that
course.
are happening. So very interesting as
Zoom
we
out
look
enough,
at these
they all
live
look
shots. Since it's not, it's traveled so many miles to get here so far with the epicenter just off the coast of Russia and giving us that 6-hour window to get here, we are likely going to be seeing on a smaller scale of a tsunami, but still a lot of energy. But it's really hard to predict.
How many windows they got open?
Impacting some of the spots. But like we were talking about, the shape
That's exactly
of
what
Hilo
it is.
Bay itself,
Right there,
has
Hilo Bay,
caused
dog.
damage in the past.
Hilo Bay would rush
especially
all
for
the way
boats
out and
even
come
along the
in,
coastal
and then
harbors
rush
there.
out and then come
so this
in,
is
dog.
something
This
we're
is
going to have
crazy.
to wait and
I
watch
cannot
throughout
believe.
the next couple of hours.
Come
The
on.
initial wave could be small.
Bitch, I ain't got no
but then
couple
build
hours. Show
up
some shit in
throughout the
Honolulu
next couple
Bay.
of hours.
One thing that I'm noticing when we have had tsunamis in the past.
Damn,
when we
work
have
is
shown
on
the
tomorrow.
shot, this live shot of
It's
Coconut
colder, bro.
Island, usually that little channel
The initial
between
wave
the
can be
island
small, but then it
and
can
the
build
main
up for the
part of
next
Hawaii
two.
Island, you can
No,
see
it's not
a
how it
current that is
works.
going in and out. We haven't seen that yet in Hilo,
Bro,
obviously.
homie was
Right
reaching
now,
out.
there's
Do you
another
see
live
all the
look
things
at
going
Honolulu
on over there?
Bay. And,
Bro, they missed the
whatever's
green
happening
flash,
out in the
these
distance,
fucking
might have been a camera
assholes.
Artifact. Haven't seen
Is
it
what?
off in the distance anymore. Off
Hawaii's
at the
just a-
point.
yeah, Hawaii
We are
is
still
just a
seeing
big
some
ass rock.
currents that that still indicates some sort of activity. The shoreline right now, the water has not receded.
No, it's not going
but
back.
there is, again, as Jen mentioned, the possibility that maybe
See
the
these
first
things on the
wave,
side,
not
though?
so
These
big,
are called
but
rip currents.
again, it's a series of waves. We had in 2011
Little light spots.
huge waves start coming in
I
and
don't even know, dog.
impacting the Kailua Kona area, just causing major damage to the shops on Ali'i Drive, and that was like
I don't even know.
4 or 5 hours after the initial waves had hit Oahu, and so
Going and hanging, though, yeah?
we're not in the clear yet. It's not a single wave.
That's true. It's not always the first wave that might be the most dangerous, and it is a series of waves. That's a great reminder, Ben. And now we want to turn things over to our reporter, Mahealani Richardson.
Yeah, we had mentioned the vessels leaving harbor areas, heading out into the open ocean. We have great video of some of the vessels leaving the ports. Let's send it over to Maheo with some of the images you've captured. Hi, Maheo.
Thanks a lot, Mark and
Right.
Steph. And of course, if you need to interrupt me at any moment, because we're all keeping an eye on our ports, but I wanted to show you this video that our Casey Lund was shooting from a Kaka'ako high rise, and it was amazing to see all of the ships evacuating. Now, this is because at about 6:47 this evening,
Oh,
the
shit.
U.S. Coast Guard ordered the evacuation of
Everybody
all
get the
commercial
fuck up out of there,
vessels
dog.
from all commercial harbors in the entire state. So you can see the Coast Guard there was
All
also
that
moving.
fuel wasted.
Several
I know,
boaters
right?
were getting out of the way. I called a boating friend, and he had already gotten
It's
the
all
word.
our
In
money,
fact,
too.
many boaters were
I
not
know.
waiting for the U.S. Coast Guard to give this official warning, but everyone just certainly getting out of the way. There are
Yeah,
9
service
commercial
speed up.
harbors on 6 islands. We also saw there was a cruise ship in the Hilo Bay area that loaded their passengers, and they were heading out to sea. Now, I also called Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam to ask about the military ships. They would not say what the military ships are doing, and so we're trying to get
Okay.
official word on what those
Frickin'
battleships
military,
are
you
doing.
guys is
But
too
again,
nuts.
the U.S. Coast Guard has ordered the evacuation of all commercial
Kratos
vessels
would probably
from
carry the
every
ships, for
harbor
sure.
in the state of Hawaii. Back to you.
Thank
And he'd
you
be
very
pissed
much,
that he has to do it.
Mahealani, for that. And so we were monitoring those live cameras, and we still, during Mahea's report, we have not noticed anything that sticks out just yet. But just before we went to Mahea, Ben Gutierrez just mentioned what is really important, and that is the reason why, even though this timeline, it has passed, it's not the time to go back to the beach if you're curious, because we have not seen anything noticeable. It is a series of waves. That's what a tsunami wave is. It is not just one, and it is not a surf wave. It wraps around the island.
Yeah, it's not a singular event. This is an hours-long event, right? Right? And we're looking at this.
I'm also not
this is
taking this
something
tsunami
where
seriously.
You're watching very closely
Because
you're looking at the changes.
the
in
last
water
one we
activity
seen, the
as
water
sun has gone
receded,
down
dog.
already.
Like, this is all dry.
Who
Just
knows
imagine the
how
bay, all
much
dry.
This shot is going to change. What we'll be able
A bunch
to
of
see
fish flopping
right
around
now
and
as we're
shit.
staying
And
on
then
our
you see the
Honolulu
water come back
cam.
in
We are
slowly.
constantly refreshing, making sure it is the most up-to-date image and the most
So-
accurate representation of Honolulu Bay. As the reports
No
have come
imminent
down,
danger,
as
though.
the updates
I don't think
have
so, at
come
least.
down, Honolulu emerged as kind of the first site that was going to be seeing any sort of activity.
We want to go live now to our live cam on Maui. And this is the coastline there, and you can see.
at that
I don't know,
motherfucker.
Are you noticing any differences?
Ka'ananapali,
there,
yeah?
Ben?
Maui.
Not just yet. It kind of looks normal, but
Beautiful.
Again, we still have some of those streaks of flatter water off in the districts, again, indicative of some currents that are going on. You know, the people who serve watermen, waterwomen,
To
those
the
who use
mustard
the
points
ocean a
and
lot
they just
are
vibe.
very familiar with
Wait,
those
what?
streaks and
Wait,
look
what?
for them, because those are the things that
Who
will
the fuck
indicate
is
that
Brian
could get you
Costain?
in trouble if you get caught in it. But nothing that I see.
The
Jen, do you see anything?
mustard.
It's really hard to tell
What is
from
a
this
muster
vantage point, but it does seem like stronger currents are occurring. At the same time, I think it's important to note that we do have high tide that's peaking right now. So there is a rise in water overall and a lot of movement over the water on top of the expected arrival of the tsunami.
He was visiting
So
Hawaii
a
or
lot of
something like
moving
that.
parts. It's very
Designated
dynamic
safe
over
for-
the Pacific Ocean.
Oh yeah,
right now.
muster
One
point.
thing that
Okay,
we
yeah.
have had that we haven't really been able to share with you is that the
Yeah.
Pacific Tsunami Warning
I
Center
mean-
has been putting out or get.
So put it this way, like I mean, I'll stop that because ain't nothing happening. What do you call Obama? They did that whole like cell phone thing, so everybody's like kind of connected, so they all also get the freaking things, right? So of course they go to some kind of point where
Receiving rather some data.
Why don't people
as
go on
far
airplanes during
as,
tsunami?
The wave heights.
Great question.
Added to that 1 foot is the wave
Great
height.
fucking question.
Highest one we've got is one of the dart buoys, which had a 3-foot wave out in the open ocean. This is closer to Kamchatka. I'm trying to figure out which exact buoy that it is, but it is Dart 21416.
How can they?
There are a couple of buoys that are kind of like out in the area. I've got just so
This
you know
has
what
been
I'm
a very
doing,
interesting
I'm kind of
stream,
like
dude.
looking at the map, trying to figure out which one is 21416, and this is probably one of the ones that is pretty. Oh yeah, 21416 with a 3-foot amplitude is the one.
Damn,
that
now
is
it's falling to
closest the
nighttime.
earthquake itself. So that one recorded a 3-foot wave out in the open ocean. The other ones
Big island,
are
yep,
a little
Little
bit
Bay.
smaller. Back to some of the wave heights. There's about 1.1 feet in Japan. 2 other dart buoys that are out there.
I don't think they
1.5
will.
and 1.4. 0.6 feet and 0.9 feet. And so there is a wave out there. It might not be that big, but again, even if it's not that big, there's still currents.
I know one of the buoys that they were trying to get more information on was the one in Guam at 657. Ben, do you see any data generated at that buoy?
Oh, which, is that Midway?
What's
Guam?
that encourage?
Guam. I don't
Wait.
have Guam on this
Oh
list,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll look it up.
I mean, think about it. We're
See if
gonna
I can
land.
find it.
If shit,
We
if shit
do wanna
goes
take a
all to
look
clusterfuck,
at,
you're
one
gonna
of
be
the
where you
reasons,
gonna
of
land?
course, why we were watching Midway Atoll so closely is because it's, again, it is kind of the first warning when we get a tsunami coming from the west or northwest like this. Let's actually take a look at some of the observed water levels. If we can bring up graphics 12 or max 2 real quick, you can
Graphics
see this
what?
very clearly. This is over the last, it seems
Nah,
like the last 24
I don't think
hours.
it's anything.
The blue line, that's the actual
It's another
prediction
scare.
for where the water level was going to be. The water level is in red, and you can see as we're going into today, as the tsunami wave is passing, the tsunami waves, I should rather say, is passing the atoll buoy. You've got this jump up, you've got this jump down, you've got this jump up. You've got this jump down. Again, this is just indicative of how many different waves are going to be potentially moving in. Of course, it looks very different out there. It might look very calm on the camera. But again, Ben and I have been talking about how Hawaii is kind of in a very unique circumstance when it comes to our seafloor, our seafloor topography.
Right.
Our waters get
We don't have a
very deep
shelf.
very, very fast.
Yep.
So when this
Anybody see the
this
drop-off?
column of water is potentially moving in, it
I
is
see a
going to
disturbance
grow-
in the
it's
bay, but
going
I
to
don't see
grow very
nothing
fast
else.
as it reaches the seafloor and grows.
See how the
quickly
water's doing the
towards
circular
coast.
motion?
We get to the deep ocean pretty quickly here in the island chain. We don't have a continental shelf around us like the rest of the continents do. And of course, on that graphic that we were looking at, you can very clearly see
Does it do the circular
jump
motion
in
now?
the buoy,
Definitely a
jump
disturbance,
up,
but I don't
jump
think a wave's
down,
coming.
Jump up, and again, that's multiple waves. It's
Is
not
that
just
an
one wave.
indicator on how strong the energy is from?
It absolutely can be, especially if we were seeing a much stronger, like much higher and much
Yeah, we gotta
lower
go work tomorrow, dog?
troughs and crests
Fuck.
from the waves. Again, the buoy is on the
Fuck,
top
dude.
of the water. As the wave is troughing, so it's going down to the bottom, the buoy goes down. And so you're seeing it jump. This is the height in feet If you bring up, let's bring up Max
Could've
2
took
again,
Ron's
graphics
bet.
12, so you can see what we have out there. Again,
Could've took
this is
Ron's bet.
on the y-axis. This is the height in feet. You're seeing this jump between two to just below -1 feet below the average. Very quickly. This is a very quick jump.
Drew, something I want to jump back to is when we heard earlier from Governor Green, he was talking about the activity with the buoy at Midway.
Yes.
And so can you clear up for us and give us kind of like a direct line explanation? So he said it's measured at 6 foot at the buoy. What does that mean? What's happening at the ocean surface?
So, to the best of my understanding, and Ben, if I say this incorrectly, please correct me. 6 feet is what he's talking about between the trough and the crest of the wave. So it's 6 feet from the top of how tall it is, how tall the buoy goes up, to how low the buoy goes down in the water. So when we're seeing that, he talked about that 3 foot number, that is 3 feet above the typical water level or the tide level at that time. You can even see the tides in the beginning of this chart here. You've got high tide around 8. And then as you're going into even further, you've got low tide. You can see the up and down, and then you see
How
this
tall the
jump
booty
indicative
goes up.
of the tsunami waves.
That
We
all
want to
depends.
show you the waves that were just the first waves to arrive on the coast of Japan here. And gentlemen, if you could describe what we are seeing here.
Just
This
trash,
was
just regular
shortly
waves.
after the powerful earthquake off the eastern coast of Russia.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to assume that the ocean is on the right, or it might be a jetty. Oh, there we go. That's
Right.
a better view. All right, this is basically classic tsunami wave
Thank you for
action.
that,
because
Josh.
it's coming
that is
in
perfect.
from the open ocean. And
Bro,
then
you said that
can
shit's
see
perfect.
that very, very disturbed, kind of a wall of water that's coming in and overtaking, for example, the seawall there.
That
You
is
see
just
the tsunami
trash.
waves? Those are probably the normal waves that are, just basically every day. But you can
Yes.
see how that big area of white, that white water that pushes in, definitely that's a tsunami. It's a slightly large one. It's not huge by any means, but it is a tsunami wave because you can see just how much energy that it has basically generated,
Maybe.
and basically pushing in. And so the waves, the little ones you see on the beach just above, basically in the center there, those are regular waves, but tsunami waves,
Godzilla
those have
survive.
definitely been coming in for Japan. Again, it's a little closer to where the epicenter of this earthquake was. But right now, as we take another look at the Hanalei camera, we're not seeing an awful lot. We're still seeing a little bit of the current action, and it seems a little bit flat, close to the area. All right.
It's so shallow.
Pacific Tsunami Warning Center is about to hold a press conference with the latest information. Let's go live there with the latest.
Coming in at Hanalei Bay, not so big, maybe about 1.5 feet above normal sea level, and then
That's all you have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, they fucked us once again, yeah? They fucked us once again. I wasted almost 2 hours and 30 minutes of not only mine, but yourselves' lives as well, yeah? With that being said, I'm calling it tsunami warning off. It's a wrap. It's a fucking wrap. What can I say? What the fuck is Hitler gonna tell me? Aged Hitler. What the fuck is this fucking dude gonna tell me? Fucking GG's, bro. With that being said, peace, love, and fucking pork chops. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you guys for actually caring about your boy, yeah? I honestly thought this was gonna be the one to fucking hit. But it was the bitch, yeah? See you guys hopefully sooner than Friday, you know what I mean? 2 shotguns and a house it. Yeah, for real, dude. Look at that mustache. Look at them ears, dog. He's almost identical. We need to make sure that Hitler never made it to Hawaii, yeah? That being said, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I mean, shit. I expected it to be spectacular. Because one of these days, the big one gonna hit. And everybody's gonna be over there crying and, oh my God, we didn't know. It's not your fault you didn't know. It's because the government played you.